Hello again, and welcome to episode 4 of the Matt Black podcast. It's episode 4 with Thor.
4 with Thor.
4 with Thor.
Yes, it's John Hardman and Lee Dodge from Thor. How are we doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah, all
for
good,
those,
man.
For those of you watching in black and white, I'm John Hardman.
And I take it that means I'm Lee Dodge then.
Today you are, yes.
Today I am.
Today you are.
Yes, welcome to my little dungeon.
Yeah.
It is little.
Like most home studio kind of man caves, you've cluttered it.
Yeah.
And I'm too tall to stand up in it.
And he's only 4'5".
Yeah.
I'm just really zoomed in.
Are you comfortable? That's important.
I'm always
Could be here a while. It's like a Ken Dodge show.
I've been to a Ken Dodge show when I was younger, yeah. They go on a
What,
while.
where you get paid in cash at end?
And it doesn't always
And it
add
doesn't
up.
always add up, yeah. According to the tax man.
Oh, how are we both doing? What have you been up to?
Oh.
You've had some ups and downs I've seen on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. Turns out water and musical equipment are not the best of friends.
It's just in.
Yeah, it's not exactly breaking news, but yeah. A couple of weeks ago, we've just been getting equipment sorted again. Really.
For those that don't know, Thor, the Gods of Rock, are a working club band. So we have, a big PA, big lights, big, desk and everything. And somewhere where that is stored in a secure lockup, which decided to float away in the floods. I shit you not. Basically, the shipping container was picked up by the water and moved like 2 foot, and then steadily filled up with water. So everything's got a tide mark on it.
Right.
Luckily, we were insured.
It's now in like an Adidas PA, isn't it? Because it's got like 3 stripes.
Lime scale on the cabs.
Yeah,
So you're laughing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, laughing now when I found it.
I don't think I would be.
And it's not, if it was clean, lovely spring Buxton water, it'd be wonderful. But it wasn't. It was full of
definitely
turds and twigs and.
When I opened that locker, that was not a pleasant smell.
Oh God, that flight case was still holding water 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
Wow.
After I'd got the carpet shampoo thing out and got like 5 litres of water out of it, and it was still had water. Like came back the next week after, we're going, why is everything still piss wet through? Like, oh God, it stinks.
God. So what did you manage to salvage then?
There was some stuff was salvageable.
Yeah.
Because it was literally an 8x8 container, so we had to stack the PA speakers on top of which. We've got 6 cabs, so there were 3 on the bottom. They were moist.
Yeah, had to. You could dry the cabs out. That was all right, but new power modules because they'd got just so full of shite. New speakers, that kind of thing. So my guitar cab, was. Dead.
The mixing desk took a battering. didn't it?
Mixing desk took a battery.
Not the Eddie one.
No. The Matrix, the full range cab that I use. So I use an Axe FX with a full range cab. So it was the prototype Matrix one that we built. So I've had it for donkey's years. So yeah,
I've had it 6 months and killed it.
So yeah. No, we managed. Like I said, luckily we were insured, so that's come and sorted us out. Managed to salvage some stuff. Had to stick his hand in his pocket for other bits and bobs, and replace bits and bobs and cobble it back together, kind of thing. Because
it was stuff that we fabricated ourselves that were the annoying bit. Like the PA, obviously you can get another PA. Stuff that we like we said, prototypes of stuff and stuff that we like cobbled together that were
Bodged.
ruined. Yeah, but yeah, musically known as bodged. Yeah, that were ruined. It's just like I've got to do that.
I mean, luckily no guitars or anything like that were there, or amps or anything backline wise, because we take that all back in home in the cars.
Your guitars sleep in the bed with you, don't they? So.
yeah, basically.
Emma's like over there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Walkie-talkies.
No, love you.
The comparison's fine, yeah, okay.
I've got even more. This is the worst thing.
Really?
I'm turning into middle-age kind of crisis kind of thing of having.
what?
Middle age. You were middle aged when you were 16.
True. Yeah, I was middle-aged in the Middle Ages. In fact, it was named after me.
Yeah.
So how many guitars are you up to at the moment?
I think about 30 now.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Which that's within reach for a lot of people if they're only buying kind of 200 quid guitars and stuff like that. But John's got he's got expensive taste.
The
Baby
fact-
likes nice things.
Well, the fact he's brought that with him because he didn't want to be naked.
Yeah.
Well, you know me. I like practical kind of workhorse guitars anyway. But I do like a couple of nice kind of bits and bobs. And I have traded some bits and things in like that. But yeah,
Like his kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I see a kind of nice, you know.
All these
guitar that I
bedrooms
think,
are empty in John's house.
Yeah.
A couple more guitars.
There was some body in there. Now there's a guitar.
Oh, I see. It's not guitars that are in. It's just leads and crap that you collect and everything like that. Oh man, the lead box.
Oh yeah, that were bad.
Got flooded. Like, oh.
It were just like a load of like. It were like you're digging garden up and you just got really, really long worms. Because they were just brown. Everything were brown.
Yeah.
It's bad enough if you play a pub corner and someone spills a pint of Coke on your
Yeah.
cables. isn't it? That's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Feces and
Yeah,
See,
just
other
imagine
ways.
somebody emptying the toilets out to all your gear. That's basically it.
I will never complain again.
But we had some very, very good friends and some
Yeah.
very, very, a few of the bands and stuff rallied round and offered bits of gear and stuff. And luckily, we had we had to pull the show kind of on the day of the flood because you couldn't even get to the.
Because it's normally me that goes and me and. We call him our visual effects manager. He's my little brother. We just give him a title because it makes him feel important. And so we went to load the van and we couldn't even get to it. We couldn't get to the locker at all because it was still like 3 feet deep.
Wow.
And it's not stopped raining since.
No.
Even when it snowed, it's been raining.
It's raining now.
It's raining now, and there's snow on the ground.
Welcome to England.
Welcome to global warming.
Yeah, when's the warming bit happen?
Come on.
They did say when I was like 15 years old that 10 years after that it would be as hot as Ibiza in this country.
Oh yeah. When I was like 7, 8 years old, 70s, there was an ice age.
What, 1870s?
1870s, yeah. Leonard Nimoy of Star Trek fame. That's so logical. But there's an ice age coming. It was like, really? Oh, shit. We've only just had central heating fitted in council house. Yeah, and it's never materialised, so yeah. I just carry on doing what we do.
So you're back to full speed now then, can you?
Yeah,
You can-
yeah. Everything
Yes.
is what could dried out, what needed to be replaced has been replaced. So yeah, we're back up. and
You're
running.
quite lucky really because insurance companies, they'll just go, oh, it was active gone. You can't-
Well, yeah. When I
Did
phoned
you have
them-
to look?
Yeah,
jump
there
through a
was
few
some
hoops?
when we were whittling about it. Whittling,
I had many phone
Yeah.
calls with John close to tears.
Yeah.
He's like, my speakers are gone.
I'm like that every time I talk to John, to be fair.
Yeah.
where
It's that effect.
There's this in the small print, and I think I think that just means if you leave it in your car and it gets too hot and melts.
Yeah.
I think that's what it means. It's not like
Yeah.
not like. And they said,
I think that's same on our pet insurance, actually.
See, I've not got child insurance, so I should be all right. Leave him in the car, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so they just went, we don't do Acts of God anymore, kind of thing. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I remember when I had like a break-in and had loads of guitars and stuff nicked, and like the insurance were really, really good about it, and just said we don't class them as high value items. She says even pieces of art and stuff like that. She says you'd be surprised because they're that traceable. Guitars are quite unique things.
Yeah.
You can find them quite easily because they'll pop up somewhere along the line. It's like, so there's me, like, this is 15 years ago and they still haven't turned up. but
they're dead easy to
But
trace.
they're dead easy. They always turn up somewhere except for mine.
That's where the McCanns have gone wrong. Serial numbers. That's what you need.
Oh, you're a bad man, but I like you.
Oh well, I'm pleased that you sorted. So yeah, I've been seeing little things on the internet. You're playing. You've got like a sold out show coming up. Or is it
Crooks?
Yeah.
I see that kind of crop up every now and then. You seem to do really, really well there in that area. Is there something about it? Do you know a magic code or something to get people to come through the door in these times?
I'm just really big on I bully people to come. That's pretty much it. And he's really angry and people don't want to upset him. That's pretty much how it works. That's why we turn up, because we don't want to upset John.
I think he's more grumpy than angry, really.
Yeah, just permanently.
He's just grumpy, all the time. Even when he's smiling, he's thinking about, like, I wish
thinking
I weren't
how
here.
I could kill you.
It's never smiling.
Where could I put this pick that would inflict the most maximum damage and pain?
It's never a smile, it's more of a grimace. But it's we don't really know why. We're just happy to roll with it. To be fair, people seem to like what we do.
Thor's been going 9 years.
Yeah,
is it that long?
10
years on the 14th of February.
And they've been going about 4 years before I joined, because I'd had a break.
And it's been all downhill from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of had a lift and a boost, and then we did really well.
Then John joined.
There for a couple of years.
And then the morale fell.
And then we got filling, and then another lift, and then COVID happened, and then everything came crashing down.
Yeah, that would kind of have kicked it bollocks.
It was.
Yeah.
And then, because two of the founding members had left, so we went out, promptly bought PA lights up the wazoo, and then couldn't gig for like 18 months, 2 years. We just got... Then you plug the smoke machine in after 2 years and it doesn't work, and you go, "Oh, it's out of warranty now."
It just goes.
Yeah, it was literally we got two guys in. We worked tirelessly for about 6 weeks, wasn't it? Or 4 weeks. We rehearsed. Got everything good to go, and then it was like, right, Friday, first gig, happy days. We're Scunthorpe, Ashby Mill, great club. It's going to be a great night. On Thursday, Boris shut everything down.
Yeah. It was that, and then it didn't open like for another. Yeah, so
it's like, it's only 3 weeks, it'll be fine.
I was just thinking about that moment, then I was like, at the time, and the things that go through your head.
The ethos of the band since the very beginning has to be put on a big show.
Yeah.
The Thor Gods of Rock thing was kind of a dare for him, because somebody said, "You look a bit like Thor." A day to get dressed up as Thor on stage one night, and he did.
Yeah,
and then it just stuck.
Well, you can't back down. As a frontman, you'll know you can't back down. If somebody says, "I dare you," it's like, I've got to fucking do this.
First rule of show business, Matt.
Oh yeah.
Don't get your cock out.
That's what my wife says. First rule of marriage is.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I did wonder how it came about. To be fair, the theme of it, really. How did you persuade everyone to go with it?
I didn't want to be Thor. As John will go against this, but don't normally want spotlights to. I'm normally, this is us. This is a collective. This is our band. Yeah. This is not my band. This is our band. And you just twiddle away, John. It's fine. And they were me and the 4 other guys, the original other 4, that were in the Milestone pub at Crystal Peaks. And I went against the lead singer ethos, and I went to the bar to actually buy some drinks, which is just not in my nature. And when I came back, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be called Thor." It's like, what? It's like, we're going to be called Thor. It's like, why? I went, "Well, you're 6'4" and you look like Thor. It's like, I know. It was like, "Well, do we have a vote on this?" It's like, yeah, we'll have a vote. All in favour, and all 4 of them put their hand up. It's like, well,
it's good though, because it stands out as well in a good way. Because I think we can all agree, when you look at some club tour posters and things like that, there's some horrific sights on there, and that were 20 years ago when they looked good in the photo shoots, you know. And I just think, wow, it's really cheesy, some of it, isn't it? But the thing is, it's like you've got that little bit of that cheese factor in there, but it's fully intentional. You've dressed up like some people try to dress like the famous rock star and look really cool, but it doesn't look that way.
We don't take ourselves seriously, but we take the music seriously. And it is just all about putting on. And he's always kind of said it, because obviously he's a lot younger than me, and he used to come out and see bands like Oatcakes, Tiger's Eye, Alcatraz, in the days where they put on a big show, and it was massive lights, massive backlines, you know, pyro when you could get away with it and things like that. And that had all gone because the duos and the trios had come along, and then the bands just went, well, we're not earning, you know, any different from what we were 10, 15 years ago. It's not changed.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, sod this. We're not
but
taking
the cost of everything else has gone up.
Yeah, we're not taking an Arctic truck full of gear to a, you know, Easington Colliery or whatever workingmen's club. So it all kind of tapered down, and then along we came going.
Sod it.
Sod that.
But it was like, even when early days when we were playing pubs, it were great. I mean, like, people there right up close to your chest while you're playing, and it was still big sound lights. Pyros in a pub.
Taking eyelashes off.
Yeah.
Pyros in a pub. Oh, we got in trouble for that. I don't know how many times we've had, instead of a click track, we've had a fire alarm.
Smoke alarms going off, yeah. And bizarrely, yeah. I mean, and pyros aren't cheap. People just think, oh, that's cute and everything. It's like, no.
Do you always go off at the right time, in time with the music
well,
as well?
I invested in cold spark machines now, so we've got the ones that you just buy the really expensive powder and you can have them and they won't set fire to anything.
Not that kind of powder.
No. Yeah. But the old ones were basically, they're 12 quid a canister, so it's 24 quid for a first shot in first set and 24 quid for set. So 50 quid a gig.
50 quid a gig.
For pyros. off your top line kind of thing.
But now it's like, it's all right for me because I look hard as nails because these sparks are flying out and I'm putting my hands in them. What they don't know is that they're actually cold. It not burn a piece of paper. Nothing.
The flamethrowers, however, are, you know,
they
are deadly.
Rather, they are rather real.
I keep.
The knife throwing dancers in the background as well.
Of Michael Jackson's Pepsi advert, and you know.
There's me stood there with long blonde hair, and it just, in case that's not enough, a really long cape as well.
Yeah.
So it's
polyester.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Slowly revealing things.
Yeah. Plastic.
The cucumber in foil.
Having PVC trousers on as well. That never occurred to me. They're going to melt to my legs one day, aren't they?
Probably, yeah. Probably. We've done all. We managed. We
50
just
quid a
run
gig just
very
on
quickly.
pyro.
We get
That used to, yeah.
We get a panicked wave from the side of the stage. We're like, quick, run away.
Yeah,
it upsets me when I have to change guitar strings, and they're only like 5 quid.
Well, it does me. I've got 30,
5 quid. You don't use what he uses.
I've got 30 guitars. Bloody hell.
Remortgage house just to get a set of guitars.
Oh God.
That's probably why Phil's never changed his on bass.
That's a bass player thing.
It's a bass player thing. It's like, because they're like 30 quid a set. They just go, nah.
I've got 5 more boils in them. They'll be all right.
They're all right for another year.
They're just ridiculously bright as well when you change because they've just built up like 5 years of
the strings,
sweat.
not the player.
Yeah, no bass player's ever been called ridiculously bright.
Right, so we're coming up to Christmas, aren't we? And I do recall you had a Christmas single out in the past.
Oh,
is that coming back in circulation?
John still switches. It turned into Quasimodo, like the bells. There were a lot of bells on that.
So that was because of lockdown as well. So it was
that
rock down after lockdown. So and it just coincided with Christmas, and Phil basically wanted sleigh bells on it. So
John went to town.
And, you know, as a mixing exercise, sleigh bells, you think it's quite easy. It's not. So once you've listened to sleigh bells for the 800th mix, I'm like, can I hear them enough? Are they cutting
tinnitus.
through? You know.
Well, it was the fact that we had a group chat thing as well, and every mix he did, he sent us.
Yeah.
And I'm
it
gonna let you know, John. I did not listen to all of those mixes.
They all sound the same anyway.
Yeah, it was the
listen to every
It
five.
was the sketch more cowbell. It was more sleigh bell.
But Phil really did want the sleigh bells.
Kind of good, but use a little more sleigh bell.
It
Really want to explore the space.
It did get to a point where it were like, this is sounding a little bit darkness.
Yeah,
I got darkness vibes from it. Yeah,
Which
I think it was the twin guitar. Yeah, the twin guitar stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can't kind of. When Phil kind of came up with the idea, it was like, it is just, all right, fair enough, I'll go with it.
And I'll
go there
because it were like we'd not done anything because it, like John said, it was during lockdown, so recording it was difficult enough.
Yeah. In isolation.
Yeah.
Because Max had to do the drums in his house into basically a tape recorder or whatever. Because he didn't have any real equipment kind of thing to do it. So he did it on a little Zoom recorder and then just sent me the WAV file kind of thing. And then I fannied around with it and, just...
You have to keep doing like 10 takes and just keep putting it next to a different drum. And you just use the different ones and piece together
It
this
actually
drum.
got a decent room sound, so it wasn't too bad. But there were a couple of little type, because he wasn't monitoring himself properly. He kind of went out on a little bit, so I had to do some really creative editing on it. But yeah, sleigh bell samples, they're not easy to come by. So Phil was lovely about it. He bought me a kid's xylophone and sleigh bell set for the next time we do one.
Next time.
On the 32nd of September.
Yeah. It's gone in the fire. I'm sorry, Phil.
So there's no plans for a follow-up then?
I'm hoping there's not another lockdown, so we don't have to.
No, but there is a...
Oh, is there a plan?
Yeah.
Is there a plan? You've not sent me that conspiracy link yet.
No, there is.
Oh, do you get these as well?
Oh, yeah.
There is another single in the works. Yeah.
Oh, is there?
And probably another CD.
As a lead singer of the band, I should probably know about that.
We've discussed it, you big lemon.
I don't listen.
We have. God, you big daft blonde tart.
I've been called worse.
Thor, the Gods of Rock.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yes, there you go. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, did you not know?
Back in the room.
Yeah. It's just that Facebook chat thing that we've got there. That we talk that much crap. It's just like,
That's every band chat, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're amazing dark places.
Yeah, some of the humour's very dark at times. And that's just about each other. Phil being under pressure and stuff like that. Yeah.
What?
We'll have to explain that one.
Yeah.
No, Helen would kill us.
I don't care. She's not my wife.
She won't be Phil's. No, she knows we know, don't she?
She does know we know. Yeah.
You can't say that and then not explain.
Yeah.
Phil comes to us at a gig once. He says, "Oh my God!" He says, "I had the most awkward conversation with his, young lad and his young daughter." He says, we've got Spotify on Queen playing. He says, "Under Pressure" came on. And Lucas's little boy says, "Well, what's under pressure mean, Dad?" He says, "Oh, well, when you're stressed out and, you feel a bit, tense and, nervous and stuff, and you feel life's getting on top of you and things and everything like that." And his daughter then says, "Mummy, do you ever feel under pressure?" She says, "Why?" She says, "Well, sometimes I hear you kind of crying at night."
Yeah.
and saying, "Oh God, oh God."
To which, straight away, it was just like, "Phil, I'm going to shake you by the hand."
That's it. Every time that song comes on now, we just go...
Yeah, I've never even met him, and I'm going to think of that now as well.
Yeah, it loses a bit in translation, but yeah, that's the gist.
If she does hear this, Phil, congratulations on your divorce.
Sorry, Phil.
Sorry. Yeah, that's my bad.
Now, yeah.
Mum and Dad are really good at wrestling.
Oh, you just sound under pressure so much. Man.
Just keeps punching the wall. And jumping about on the bed.
No, this is Phil. That's looking at. Cool.
Yeah, he's not that energetic.
Yeah,
He's not there. So for the ones that don't know, me and John used to be in numerous bands together. And this is the first time that me and Lee's ever actually met. But,
Yeah, we've had.
but we've taken the piss out of John multiple times together on the internet.
It's
haven't we?
just meant to be done, isn't
I
it?
discovered him.
You discovered him.
He was wandering the streets.
I hope not round here. It's
No,
a long. I don't know where we are, but it's a
I
long.
don't know where we
Oh
are.
yeah, you don't want to walk around in Barnsley.
Barnsley's great. I love playing Barnsley.
No, we had a little club band, didn't we?
Yeah.
And does everyone know that Matt Black's not your real name, or
They do
do now?
Well, no, I don't shy away from telling people.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was so. It was. There was two Matts in the
Yeah,
band.
he's told
So
me.
we had originally Matt Bird.
Is that who comes to Goulburn Road, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
Matt
'cause
Bird,
we have
and
to
he was a
always
guitar
announce
player,
that,
and
don't
we struggling to find a singer. And Matt Bird says, "Actually, I might know someone. I'll give him a shout and see. He's a guitar player, but you know, he might do it. He has been singing a bit more." And he turns up, and he's, you know, me and Phil
19.
Phil Tower.
19.
Yeah.
No.
I think you were 18 actually.
I might have been.
Me and Phil Tower.
That's
just-
what.
when he-
probably
That's what he
right.
told the courts anyway.
when he started singing, me and Phil Tower just went, "Oh," and kind of went, "Well, yeah, all right, yeah, you're fantastic, brilliant," and yeah, we just kind of hit it off and worked from then. But you took a while to get used to being a front man.
Without the guitar.
Yeah,
Felt
without
naked.
the guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I had this conversation with Schwimp. He were the same. We used to go to jam nights and stuff, and he got asked to sing a song, like with they got guitarists for it, and he just turned to me and went, "What do you do with these?"
Yeah.
It's just, well,
Yeah.
I do like magical gestures and shit like that.
Catch the moon, bring it
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Just bring it down. You still do the same kind of thing. You'll kind of go off and just stand in the corner, kind of thing, and just during the guitar solos.
I
and
do
stuff
that on
like
stage as well.
Yeah, and kind of he does that anyway. See, that's a singer
I
thing.
think when it's time for solos
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
big
yeah.
instrumental bits, they don't want to look at
That's
some
it,
random
yeah.
guy just stood there
there's
not
nothing
contributing.
worse, fair enough if the singer's having a bit of a session at the front with the guitar player and rocking out and stuff, but generally it's like, all right,
Yeah.
stay in your lane.
I like to get out of the way and watch people whittling away on guitar.
Yeah.
and-
Then come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's just that
Drop
bit in-
kick the guitar player out.
the
of
bit
way.
you were doing out to fall that you
Yeah.
said just an exercise.
Yeah.
And it's just like every time you do it, I don't know what it is. It just makes me smile.
I would just walk off to the side and get something to drink or check my notifications on my phone.
But even the kind of talking to the crowd kind of thing.
There
and
were more
like
text messages actually. But then.
God,
I've not got that.
you
many
were a
friends.
bugger for being on your phone singing and everything and just like texting going
In rehearsals, yeah.
in rehearsals.
I would just put the mic on a stand, and I would just text all the way through rehearsal, and occasionally speak to
See,
people.
I'm blonde. I ain't got that mental capacity to sing something and take.
Sometimes
I'd
I'd type a word that I was singing,
Yeah, I'd
and
be
it'd
doing
just
exactly
randomly
the
be in a
same, yeah,
sentence, and people would be like, "What?"
I'd be doing exactly that.
No, when Matt kind of first joined and me and Phil had the conversation and said we won't keep him for long because, he's shit.
We said that about him.
We won't keep him for long. He's that good. Somebody's going to poach him. So it was that kind of, we've discovered. But because there was Matt Bird and you, Matt, we can't have two Matts. How are we going to differentiate you between them?
Let's not use the real names.
Matt, so it was Matt Black and Matt Finish.
But then it kind of went around on like, because there were
and
forums.
yet you still had 2 mats.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. And they were like, because like forums were the thing, weren't they? Then so
Yeah.
people were posting stuff in like music forums, and they just kept mentioning my name as that, and then that were it. Then I was just known as this like little skinny kid that could sing to my notes. That we call Matt Black.
Yeah.
And I've still never set up a band called Matt Black and the Decorators. I really need to do it. It's coming.
I've got a guitarist if you want one.
Yeah.
You may have heard of him.
Yeah, I think most concert secs in the past have heard of him anyway. Any sarcasm.
Yeah. It's generally, we normally get like people asking photos and stuff at end of gigs. And there's always, I'm not going to point out who it is, but there's one member who is very reluctant to have photos.
Yeah.
And there are a few very awkward grins.
Yeah, it's you come off stage and you're just sweaty and feel shit, and
It's mad though, because you're really
Can
good.
we
You're
have a
really,
photo?
he's really good at talking. Like, look at him now. He's like,
Yeah.
he's very comfortable. Yet
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
so antisocial at the same
Yeah.
time. It's just in little bursts with people that he knows, and that's it. And then he he goes back into his little cave.
I don't know if he did it with you, but we always, when he turned, generally, like, me and my brother will get there first, because if I say I'm going to be there at 6, it generally means I'm going to be there at 22. I don't know why that happens, it just does. But John will turn up, and it's just like, hi John, and he's got, it's like, right, just leave him. Just leave him. Then generally about half an hour later, he'll come out with a little quip. It's like, right, safe boys, safe. John's speaking.
Yeah.
We're all right.
it's the journey basically from yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna go there then, because
No.
I can't be dealing with 2 divorces in a band.
No.
I think John. I was sure he hated me for the first like 3 to 6 months. When,
I had to explain the stare to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the stare. of the,
Barnsley Trades was his first gig that he did with us. That was about 6 years ago, and as I said, I'm really critical of myself, as he knows. I'm critical of him as well. But after the gig, it was just like, if I've done something wrong, I want to make it better. And I just got this look off him.
It's good, isn't it? Because when you mess something up, you think, I hope nobody noticed. Oh, I feel awful. And then you looked outside, and John's lasering you with his eyes, trying to set you on fire.
The boys.
The thing that made it
Jedi
worse
mind
is
trick.
The thing that made it worse is that I got this look off him, and it was just like, what the fuck have I done?
Probably nothing.
Yeah, well, that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
Went in the
That was
changing
it.
room. I says, "What did I do, John? What did I do wrong?" He just went, "Nothing. I fucked up the solo." Why did you stare at me then?
Because I'm looking at somebody to say I fucked that solo, but it doesn't come across it that it's like I want to kill you.
Yeah, first gig with a guy that you don't. At the time, we didn't really know each other. We just had a few rehearsals, and I knew of him. And I got this look, and it's just he's gonna smash my face in. I don't even know
It's
what
me.
I've done.
It's not you. It's me. It's me. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. So we've had to have that with quite a few members, haven't we?
Yeah.
The conversation of if I stare at you, don't worry. It's me.
It's all right when you
Unless it is you,
Yeah.
then you will know.
Yeah. When you used to
Oh,
it,
you absolutely know. Yeah.
it's all quite fun and entertaining and stuff like that. It's like, but it changes you forever. Because like since I've not been in a band with John, I do things in a different way now. It's like if I go in a dressing room and I pick up a pint, I check the temperature of it first before.
Yeah.
Just in case it's a pint of piss.
Yeah. We had that recently when somebody came into a changing room to collect the glasses. I'm not going to say where it were because we want to play there again. But they picked the pint pot up and they just went, "Oh, has this been on the radiator?" And it was like, yeah, it has, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't fancy it because it had turned a bit warm. Yeah.
It's mad though, isn't it? How it actually looks like lager.
Yeah.
Carling, to be fair, but it tastes the same as well.
Yeah, it's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You drown before you get pissed.
But there are so many like dressing rooms and things like that just don't have sinks or don't have, that aren't proper facilities. There's a cupboard at back, lads. You'll be all right.
Well, just for people that don't know, John's referring to the sink as a toilet.
Yeah. Well, you've got changed.
Yeah.
You've got your clobber on for going out on stage, and then suddenly...
Yeah, you can't really go into like some kind of miners' welfare and stood at toilet dressed as Thor at your right.
Yeah, or Elvis or whatever. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, sir, lady. And then, so you 2 minutes before you're due to go on, you go, oh, nerves, damn, I need to go.
Well, man's generally not nerves. It's the fact that I drunk 4 litres of water
Well,
before
yeah,
I've gone.
so
You've always got to have the precautionary one, haven't you?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
before,
yeah.
even if you don't
in case
need
there's
it.
a high note.
It's that. I don't need to go. I'm just gonna have a try.
I'll have a try because I don't want a wet penny in my pocket.
'Cause that's really sexy.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Especially in spandex.
Yeah. Well, that's why I've got the wet look ones now.
Yeah.
I'm not having that again.
Oh, man.
So does that spandex go through the wash cycle every week then, or is it just kind of left
boil
to fester?
wash.
It's not left to fester in a bag
No,
Monday to Friday.
No.
Oh, man.
Luckily, I've got
so many.
Luckily, I've got quite a lot of different bottoms and changing
Adult
clothing.
nappies.
It's to be fair, it's the
leather,
the thong that I wear that you like particularly well, isn't it?
What?
You've seen when I'm getting changed. I've seen you looking at me.
You would have. I never thought of that. You would have to wear something like that, wouldn't you? Because otherwise, you're going to get the boxer short lines on stuff that's that skin tight.
Yeah. That's.
And we struggle with skinny jeans, so it's like.
Well, as you can see, I'm not a little man. Other than when you ask my wife. Yeah. But my body
smells massive though.
But it's I just didn't want the visible line.
BPL.
So it was just like, I'll have to go through the pain barrier of having cheese wire up my arse.
You get them from Primark as well because they're just cheaper, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Or do you? Have you ever thought like treating yourself at Christmas to get something a bit fancier, like Ann Summers or something like that?
And I ain't got that kind of money, man. I ain't got that kind.
Not when he's spending 50 quid on pyros.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man,
I mean, it's bad enough going to bar.
People kind of think being a musician's great and everything, but it's hard work, and when you're touring, it's even harder because there's all that logistical nightmare of like you've took, let's say, 3 vests, 2 pairs of pants, two, whatever, and your stage costumes that you then get into the wear that. Oh, I want to wear that again tonight, and you put it away kind of wet in the suit bag or whatever. Then you come out the next day and you go, that's all right. That's okay. It's still a bit damp.
Yeah, it doesn't smell because it's still wet from the night.
But by the
before.
7th gig, it's got a mould on it from being in the suit bag. It's literally got mould growing on stuff.
I have had that before with the leather.
Yeah.
Because I got the leather armour. And, it was like, oh, we've not got a gig. We did the gig, gone and unloaded the van, couldn't be arsed to put my stuff in the washer afterwards. And then it was just like, I'm doing something on the Sunday, like taking sound skating or something, my little lad skating or something like that. And then it's just like work Monday. And then it's like by the end of the week, it's like, shit, I'm gigging tomorrow.
And you open your bag.
Open the bag and
it's still wet.
The brown leather's just covered
and
in
it smells
spores.
like a non-league football club changing room.
The brown leather's just crawled up to you.
Yeah, it's just kind of looking at you going, the hell, man.
Oh man, yeah, ridiculous.
I'm not sure about the 2 pairs of pants thing though on the tour. If I go away for a week, I take like 14 pairs.
Oh, okay.
Just in case you crap yourself every day or something. Like that.
Well,
that never happens.
That's standard for him, though, isn't it?
Well, it is now. It never used to be. I used to, be a bit of a commando man, really. So,
I remember the first time.
Yeah.
The retinas were burnt out my eyes. Just turning around, getting ready, and there's John's backside there, and then he just turns around and goes, "Oh, here he is."
Yeah.
See,
that's John. That's little John.
I've played enough team sports I've seen enough arses and cocks in my time. It's just like, that's just another one. It's just another one.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So it's Sheffield Blazers, isn't it? That you've
yeah.
I'm not his other career with
Yeah.
with all the stuff he's seen.
I'm still having therapy.
Yeah, so you've recently joined Sheffield Blazers to play ice hockey with those. I'm not really very knowledgeable in general about ice hockey. I don't know much about it. So, how did that come about?
Yeah, well, I decided I've played many sports and been distinctly average at most of them.
Played field hockey for.
I played field hockey for 30 years or so for Rotherham. I played rugby before that, and we went to when my little boy was born. We thought we'll take him to anything he wants to go to. And we'll try him at all sports, see if he gets an interest in anything, and we'll go with that. And we took him to the Steelers, and he absolutely loved it. Like, we took him to the football, we took him to rugby, all sorts of stuff. But the Steelers, he loved it. So after that, he wanted to get on the ice. So it's like, oh, Christ. He's like, at the time, he's 2 years old, and he wants to get on the ice. So we took him ice skating, and we got him in... at Ice Sheffield having lessons, and one of the other dads, a guy called Ash Wheelhouse, he's like, "Oh, you're a big lad. I bet you could play ice hockey, couldn't you?" It's like, never played ice hockey in my life. And I was skating about, and he's like, "Well, you can skate." I went, "No, I've only ever played field hockey." And he went, "Well, you can skate and hockey. It's the same thing." It turns out it's right not. It's just not the same thing. Because when I played field hockey, I was the biggest guy on the pitch. And if I hit somebody, they stayed hit. Play ice hockey, if you hit somebody, they fucking hit you back. Or they hit you first. But yeah, it just went from there. I had to try. He just said, "Oh, come down and get a bash." So I borrowed a load of kit. I went on ice and made a tit of me, son. And they just turned around like, "Oh, come again next week." So I went next week and got a bit better. And I joined this beginners group and enjoyed that. And then they said, "Oh, well, come back and like play with us, have a proper trial." So I did a proper trial and just took it from there. Just started playing with them. Mm. So it is when they first told me that it's like, "Oh, you're working like 1 minute shifts." It's like 1 minute, fucking dead easy, fit enough to do 1 minute. Yeah, no. 1 minute, 1 minute on ice, as fast as you can go.
Not after all them warm pints.
While people are trying to hit you as well. It turns out, it's a very, very long time.
Yeah. I've never ever attempted ice skating. I'm convinced that I'll just break an arm instantly.
I have no balance at all, so yeah, I can't do skateboarding or skating or anything.
You binned
like
it
that.
in shower once, I can remember.
You what?
You binned it in the shower once, didn't you?
Probably, yeah.
I was there. No, he told us about it.
He probably just had a heart attack.
And, like, ripped a nail off or something, trying to like grab the soap dish. I remember.
He was trying to take the bloody thing off, some shampoo, some conditioner or something. It just took my nail straight off. But yeah, I have pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Me and
fall
John are
over anything.
equally as hard as you, clearly.
I can fall over anything. Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. I love it. It's just something different. Like I said, I've played hockey. I tried football. I was terrible at it. I wasn't bad at rugby. But just ice hockey. It's just my little boy loves it. He wants to be a netminder, which I really wish he isn't a netminder not because he's not good enough, but it's just right expensive.
It's the most expensive.
Was that all the best gear, the biggest stuff?
It's like a set of leg pads for a 3-year-old's like £300.
Well, he's gonna grow out. Get an adult ones now.
Yeah, just get him now. Yeah.
In fact, I'm guessing the kids' nets are smaller as well, aren't they?
Can't you use cricket stuff?
No.
I suppose if I want to be that dad.
Go to Sports Direct.
Well, my dad's a builder. I'll get some of that foam that they use and shape it. That's all right.
Some sticks.
Yeah.
Old Venetian blind and some expanded foam.
Exactly the same.
Winner.
It's exactly the same.
So, because obviously, yeah, please talk to me like I'm an idiot with this, because I know nothing about ice hockey then. So how old are you at the moment?
I'm 37. I'm 38 in February.
Oh, same age as me. So, is that like a good age? Because that's obviously like for a footballer, that's that's like kind of winding down, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you were starting a new sport at that age. Is that a good age to do it?
No.
No, at all.
No, it really isn't.
I didn't know if the people lasted a bit longer in hockey or not.
To be fair, we have got some older guys, but they tend to be the guys that have played from being a kid.
Right.
And like the younger guys, they've been playing since like they were 8 years old. So me starting at nearly 38 is a really stupid idea. But as John will say, I've had many stupid ideas.
It's like Sunday league. It's like a pub league. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
effectively,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
It's not.
So you get some journeymen that have played before, kind of thing, and are still doing it for the keep their oar in. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
we've got a guy called Sean who he's absolutely one. He's mental, but he's also hard as nails. But he played like for the Steelers before they were the Steelers.
Right.
So he's played a really good level. And he's great to have about because he's a bit like him. He's been there and done it. And then you basically learn from his mistakes.
Yeah.
and
So if he's hard as nails and a bit mental as well, you just like learn not to.
you just call him sir.
Yeah.
just whatever he says, just go, yeah.
Yeah. Does he give the death stare as well?
He tends not to. He tends to just hit you. He just hits you. Takes his teeth out and hits you.
Teeth. How old is he?
He's played hockey all his life.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
he
It's not
has-
even a hockey stick anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a walking stick.
Yeah, but no, he's like John said, he's played most of his life, so most of his teeth aren't his own.
Right. Yeah.
So he'll just take like when Sam saw him for the first time at 3 years old. I says, "Oh, Sam, this is Sean." He just turned around and he went, "Where's his teeth?" And he just took them out of his pocket and went, "They're here."
I love the honesty of kids. It's probably the only thing I like about them. I can't tolerate them otherwise.
Yeah, what surprised me with him is that a lot of people know. I make no secret about it, we had IVF to get my son, and it was just like John he don't like people, never mind little people, and straight away it was just like you ask Sam who's your favourite member of the band, and bearing in mind his daddy's the lead singer, he'll say John. And it's just like, cheers, pal. Yeah, cheers, mate.
He was doing something the other day at the front of the stage and like stomping, and I kind of realised he were copying me tap dancing on the pedals, on the switching pedals on and off and things like that. He's totally a little. He's gone through phases of like, Phil's my favourite this week, but
No.
he does.
The bass player's never anybody's favourite.
I know, but yeah,
He's just the other guy.
You've talked him out of that,
Yeah.
disciplined him. Naughty step, time out.
At least aim for drummer.
Yeah,
Don't go bass
yeah.
player.
But yeah, he's brilliant. He's a right star. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, that's the one thing about Thor is that it sounds really cheesy and really kind of cringy, but it is a family. I know that if I was stuck, if I'm needing to do something and I had no childcare, any of them would say, just bring him round. It's fine. Just bring him round.
John would be like, yeah, bring him round. Yeah, Emma will look after him.
Yeah, I'm going to look after him, basically, yeah.
No, Scarlett or Abby.
Abby,
or
yeah,
Emma, would look after him. But yeah.
It'd be a nice change for you to have another male in the house, wouldn't it? He's kind of...
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He's overhauled by women in his house.
Yeah. That's why I turn up to gigs like just... quick. I'm like, what's this thing? It's men. Who are these people? Men. How do I act?
I'll never forget the time when John were on Tramadol, because normally he used to come out at house stressed if I picked him up for a gig. And he just got in car and just went, "Hi, Matt." Like, really? Softly spoken. "You all right, John?" Yeah, you. And I'm like, I was looking around, I'm like, waiting for actual John to come out.
Who's this guy?
This is his doppelganger.
Is this our Paul, my big brother in a wig?
No, I don't just take Tramadol for a laugh. By the way.
Your Honour.
Not all the time,
Not
anyway.
all the time, anyway. But yeah.
So how are you managing all the, like, doing the gigs? You've got kids and stuff like that. You've got the ice hockey. What do you do to balance all this stuff? I guess I'm guessing there's rehearsals and things going on, new songs. And...
Well, yeah, occasionally for new songs and things like that. But we made the decision consciously that we weren't going to be a, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of working band. So it is just once a week, and then maybe a weekend off. So 3 times a month or 4. If people have got other things going on, we're at that kind of stage in our lives where we enjoy it and we love doing it, but it doesn't control us. We don't need to do it. And the flip of that is that we're not overexposing ourselves, so to speak. The people, oh, it's Thor playing. They weren't here last week or just up the road kind of thing. It's enough that it's kind of like, ooh.
It's a bit more exclusive, isn't it?
That's
it.
Yeah,
almost. Yeah, it's...
And a lot of the venues just are still stuck in the kind of 60s and 70s and won't allow you put speakers on the floor, won't allow you to have smoke, can't have pyro. Oh, there were sparks.
There's 50 quid in the back pocket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other week we played a place that a lady came up straight away and she didn't understand that the smoke machines are not actual smoke. And she came up and she was telling me
the sigh of the singer.
Yeah.
Oh God!
It's because they always talk to me like I'm like leader of the band, like, and they'll and if it's a problem with something else, they come and talk. Oh, like go away.
She. This is the second time she did it. She talked to me first time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, normally you just
she backed down. She backed down straight away. Yeah. That's why she didn't even take it any further. This time she kind of did because she spoke to you first.
She came to me.
This is pointless.
Yeah. She came to me and she's like, "Oh, you can't use the smoke machine," and it's like,
"Well, that's good because it's not actually a smoke machine."
And it's like, "Well, says who?" Because we've been here loads of times and we've always used it. Well, I'm asthmatic. Well, that's really strange because so am I.
And it's firing in my face.
It's like, and I'm in the middle of it. And it's like, it's not actually smoke. It's just like a haze. It's basically a vape.
It's a glycol, yeah.
And she could not get her head around it. She went, "Well, you can use it the first bit, but I'll let you know if it's a problem." I just went, "Yeah, that's no problem, and I'll just ignore you." And she thought I was joking.
You've taught him well, John.
Yeah, but she thought I was joking. And it's like, no. It's like, this is a sold-out night that there's 300 people here. 299 of them don't give a damn about this smoke machine. There's only you. So yeah, we just did it, and she came up. "Oh yeah, it was fine. Thanks for that." It's like,
you always get one. "Can you change that light, please? It's pointing in my face."
Yeah, well, can you change it so it's going to point in his face? Yeah, because wherever it goes, it's going in someone's eye.
A few years ago, we had when Kev was with us. He was working at Richstone at the time, and they got a big, massive order of Dynacord stuff in, and he'd got a load of sunglasses that they sent with it. And he turned up with them, and this guy came and told him about a light that was in his eye. So Kev just got this pair of sunglasses and went, "That should sort it, mate." and just walked off. Just walked away. It would because Kev never said anything to anybody.
"I've been sat here 40 years. Your ass must be numb then."
Oh yeah, when it's my seat, we sit there. Oh God.
There's a bit of a theme every time anybody that's done clubs comes into here. We all start talking about the people who have claimed seats and tables.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were with us or not. We played up at Easington Colliery, and they were turning up. We got there at like 6, and there were already people like starting to arrive. And when they opened the concert room, this couple just came and sat at this table. A couple of minutes later,
it's like a rush at a massive arena gig, but it's old people going to their seats
really slowly.
Really slowly. Well, actually, quite Come on,
Yeah,
come on,
you
Brian.
can-
Come
you
on,
can
Brian.
see- you can see they've had painkillers, so they've got a bit of a
Yeah,
shuffle on.
little steps.
Yeah.
That's like
Come on,
Benny
Brian.
Hill-
Come on,
Benny
Brian.
Hill.
Put your
yeah.
coats on. Put your coats on.
There's a couple of
Like
sat-
claiming
there's-
sun lounges.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, get your towel out, look.
Get your coat on chair and then get to the bar. Yeah.
And the couple had sat at this table, and they came over, and they got really aggressive about it. It's like, we sit there. We've always sit there. And it's like, well, we want to sit there. We were here before you. And it were like verging on coming to blows. So they just kicked both of them out. It's like, that couple have done nothing wrong. But they just kicked all of them out. It's like, what logic have you got?
Yeah.
Surely it's just a case of, oh, we sit there. Well, why don't we sit there?
It is the great. If you can't, I've said it. You play clubs. You can play anywhere on earth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter. You will never get the same level of abuse, apathy.
Every time you do 10 club gigs, you can like clunk on another level of armour for
Yeah.
wherever you play
Yeah,
in the world
yeah,
because
yeah.
you can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
people say things and bang, you just shoot them down straight away. And
Yeah.
people like I've been in other bands before and they'll be like, "Where have you learned to do that?" I'm like, "Oh, well,
Well, it was like the time I got,
We still use it now.
I'm from the hood."
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the applause. We don't do it for the applause. We do it for cold, hard cash.
it was like the time we played.
Copyright, Matt Black.
Yeah. Just,
And
brackets,
half the
not my
audience
real
will go,
name.
Is he serious? Is he serious? Is he serious?
Yeah, because we were called Stage Fright. And we said, "Oh, if you enjoyed us, we're called Stage Fright. If you didn't enjoy us, insert other club band
Oh, yeah,
band
I-
name."
I use that one now, yeah.
We use that one now, yeah. There's a certain band that we use that with.
Metallic based band. But yeah, we played a place in it was just before lockdown and that, wasn't it? And this woman was shouting something at me. I got in your monitor soon. I can't hear you, love. And she spat at me.
Oh, Baton, wasn't it?
No, it weren't baiting. Oh, that was another story.
Oh,
I'll
right.
tell you that one in a minute.
Oh, that was Jippo one. Wasn't it?
Yeah. It were in Barnsley.
Romany-based person. Sorry, you can't say.
I've no fixed abode. And she spat at me.
Depending where she's from, that's her claiming you. To be honest,
Yeah.
She was a snake.
The only thing I could think of, she just spat at me on my arm, middle of a song. I just turned around and just went, "That's just dispelled what he said, love, because he said you swallowed," and I just walked away. And it was just surreal. It's like, you've spat at me, and I don't even know why. There are many reasons people would spit at me, and I know why. But it was just like, the amount of abuse you get.
Because you won't play Billy Joel or something like that.
Yeah, it was something
Don't
like
go
that.
changing.
Oh, I love that. They'll come up to me sometimes while I'm singing,
While you sing
Yeah,
it.
and think I can have the conversation
Yeah.
with them, and then ask for a song that I don't do, and then I'll go, "Oh, sorry, I've never heard of that," and then they'll go, "Well, just get it up on your phone and like plug it in, and you could do it karaoke." I went,
Yeah.
"But I don't know the song." "Yeah, but words are on screen."
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just
I've had somebody come up
just going to
with
know
a
the
pen
melody.
and a pad and ask for an autograph whilst I'm playing guitar. Whilst I'm playing guitar, and I kind
Just
of
sticking it between your
and you
toes.
can't even kind of point to the guitar and say I'm playing the guitar because you wouldn't be playing the guitar. So you're kind of trying to nod, going, I'm playing guitar. I'm playing guitar, and they're going, pen. I've got a pen.
Should have spat at him.
Well, pointy head stops.
Yeah, I've had that pointy head stop before.
Oh, I've had that before. Where I did a London gig with FAHRAN, and Jake's got a PRS. They've got not quite as pointy as that, but they've got a point. And he swung his guitar to the side, straight in eye socket.
Oh,
and I know we're in Doncaster the day after a gig with a nice shiner.
Yeah.
So I had to make up a story for stage.
Somebody tried to nick me van. Yeah. And this is all I've got.
Yeah, you should have seen the little girl.
Did you post it on Facebook, just the picture, and did you get all the kind of, what's up, hon?
Oh, the sympathy, yeah.
Yeah.
PM me, hon.
PM me, darling.
PM me, hon.
You okay, hon?
Just check me signal in the hospital.
Yeah, just at hospital.
Didn't even put the picture.
Don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I've seen some beautiful videos about that type of stuff lately. People
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about announcing Facebook calls so that
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
worried that they're going to
Yeah.
get removed. I think I used to do Facebook calls when I was like 20 or something like that. But I was like, I don't do them now because the people that I don't like eventually just filter themselves out anyway and remove
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
why should I do the work?
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun doing the work by
Yeah.
just abusing you. And just the amount of joy I get from pissing you off so much that you think the only way to get back at me is block me on social media.
The internet can be quite fun, actually. Once you get to a point where you don't get too invested in something, and if you're not going to get butthurt about something that someone says, and you've not got that need to be right, you just let them think they're right, and just let them make themselves look silly in front of everyone else, because everyone else can identify someone's an idiot. Or not.
Well, we had one the other day that the gig we've got at Crooks, that we put that it was sold out. We put 2 weeks ago because we didn't know initially that it were going to
No,
be ticketed.
it wasn't our decision to do it. That's why. Because
Yeah, we were just happy to do a
turn
gig
up and
that's
rock up on day after my birthday and kind of play.
Yeah, drop that one in just to remind me, John. I know when your birthday is. It's all right.
Just thought I would do.
Yeah, just to get that one in.
23rd, it's day after. So that
Cards
means
probably in post.
that means my birthday's on 22nd.
Busy time right now, isn't it, for Royal Mail anyway? So
Yeah,
it might not. It
well,
might
his
not
wife
arrive.
works from somewhere.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't notice.
Oh, you could just get it to Emma then.
Yeah, just drop us that off. Get your little red van out and we'll take it to your house. But yeah, I forgot what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Oh, the
you
Crooks
got
gig, yeah.
upset that it was ticket due. Yeah.
Yeah, we put that it had sold out, and this guy messages saying, "Oh, well, I've not got tickets. I didn't know it was ticket due. It's clearly not been advertised very well. Right, there's 300 tickets being sold." It clearly was advertised.
You should have advertised it. Yeah.
To be honest, they've gone that quick. I mean, he's a lovely lad, David, and he's kind of, I understand it. But even Spen, who's in our band,
couldn't get
tickets. He's got 8 people waiting to get tickets, and he's like having to go.
I just got a phone call from him saying, "Is there any chance that that you could do a few golden handshakes and get me out at Doghouse?" It's like, why? Yeah, that ticket due on 23rd. I need 8 tickets and it's sold out. It's like, oh, for God's sake. It's like, yeah, Kaz is going to kill me. It's like,
I try and it's really hard because when you do them, it's you try and like distance yourself from everyone and everything because I don't want to get involved in it when there's well, especially when like they say, oh, it's sold out and you've got only an allocated amount of guests because obviously they're at capacity, so they can't put any more people in, you know. So and then you've got others that are kind of like tapping at you, wanting to.
Oh,
is there any
Chris
chance
got
you
one
can
the
get
other
us in?
day.
Can you
He was
get us
like,
in?
he'd not seen the guy for 15 years, and he's like, guys,
we're gonna come to
your
that.
your bestest pal, can you get me in for that one? Because you're playing around with, and it's a great venue. It'd be lovely to catch up. I've not seen you for 15 years.
Yeah,
just mum,
go for a pint. Yeah. No, I've tried to just keep away from it all. It gets a bit too messy once. I mean, we don't sell out very often, but when we do, it's like, oh no.
We sold out years ago.
No,
when we do Halloween, that's another
Halloween,
one. Halloween, that is. I think every year we've done it, it's sold out. We ticket it ourselves. Don't charge a venue anything, but there's a lot to pay out. So we normally come out with about the usual fee, innit? Really?
Yeah.
After we've paid everything out. But it's like
have a support band on and pay them, kind of decorate as much as we can. But Crooks helped last time we played there with that.
Yeah.
But when we used to do it at the Embassy, it was all the band that did that.
Yeah.
And then everyone just turns up in fancy dress.
It's a great night. It is a good night
if they want to, but most of them do. Just some of the stuff is just ridiculous.
But you put like it's sold out on it, and then on day it's like, oh, can you get me 10 tickets? I'm kind of busy.
You're kind of pushing for one, really, when it's sold out.
It's like, it's on day when it's like, it's not like
we started because of that. You started kind of advertising it, October, like February.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. People leave stuff to last minute because it's difficult right now because people don't know how big the gas bill's going to be,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
what
yeah.
things are going to
Yeah,
cost
yeah.
in 2 months' time. So you don't really want to commit to things.
That
But
was one contributing decision why we didn't do Halloween gig this year, because it's like everybody's got so much to worry about, and then it's like another, like, if it's normally like a tenner and a fiver, which it ain't a lot, but when you've got a family that want to bring husband, missus, and 2 kids,
then you've got your taxes, your drinks,
yeah, exactly,
possible food, all that jazz.
Yeah. You're talking like a night out's going to be 60, 70 quid at least, and it's like people don't need that stress. So it was like, look, let's just take a year off. Take a year out. People don't need that hassle at the minute, and it's like, yeah, we miss doing it. But
And we got asked, and
Yeah,
why aren't you doing it this year? We're looking forward to it, kind of thing. Was, well, the other thing was your little one's kind of that age where you take him trick or treating for the first time and stuff
and I
like
get
that.
a shit ton of sweets.
Yeah,
It's great because he doesn't eat all them.
Yeah.
Happy days. Daddy gets a load of chocolate.
So yeah, it was like, well, we'll do it next year. We'll have a year off, so
Yeah.
we'll be all right.
It's like places like Devil's Arse where we had a year off that, because it like every year it kind of took the shine off it. It's an amazing. Have you ever played there?
No, I've been in there,
Yeah,
but I've never played
It's
it.
an
No,
amazing gig.
Yeah, it is.
they're lucky. I've seen like multiple bands will play it and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it does look good.
Well, we're there in August, so let me know. I know what band. I'll give us
Yeah.
And
If it sells out, is there any chance I can get in?
yeah. No worries. Just carry a speaker.
Do what that guy did and walk across the top, and then fall down
into
the
it.
crevice.
That was week
They had
before.
to,
wasn't it?
yeah, week before we played, they had to stop the gig because somebody was camping, and his sat nav took him over the top, kind of thing, walking, and he basically got stuck up there. So they had to kind of like clear everyone out in case he fell, and like clear the cave out and stuff. So the gig was like cancelled. So not only did he stop the gig, he missed it, kind of thing, while he were late walking to it. Oops.
I mean, that is one thing you don't get with working men's club gig.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
You get water running down the walls, and
Oh yeah.
I've started putting a collection of pictures in a folder of black mould in dressing rooms.
See, I started collecting, like, writing down stupid things I've heard. They look loud. That's my favourite one ever.
I kind of get that though.
tone it down.
Yeah, tone it down.
Yeah,
What?
we were on about that the other week
Yeah,
on another
tone it
episode.
down,
Yeah,
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
turn it down, tone it down.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
I mean, that used to be one that got James, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
if somebody said tone it down, you could see his eyes start twitching.
John's changing presents and mids on his amp, but turn it volume up.
DFA switch. Does fuck all. Yeah.
That was my favourite.
I'll just alter DFA for you, mate. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks very much. Oh, that's much better. That.
Except that time when you did that, and somebody
Yeah.
went, "Do you think I'm stupid?"
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, shit. He knows the joke.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you're
I can't
big
remember
man,
when. I
big
think
man.
it was
You're
Doncaster.
big, me
You're
small.
big, me small.
I think it was Doncaster, and it was just like, lads, can you turn it down a bit, please? Can you turn bass down or whatever? He says, yeah. Just do DFA out bass. He just went, you think I'm fucking stupid? And you just saw his face drop. He just went, does fuck all, turn fucking bass down. And we
Where
were
do you
like,
go from there?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh shit.
strangely, we've never played there since.
Yeah. I feel our appeal is becoming more selective.
I went somewhere a few weeks ago and it was just a little solo gig Sunday afternoon. Oh, it was bonfire night actually. Got set up, silent room, about 6 people in there while I'm setting up. Just did a quick line check. The moment I pressed stop on the track, I heard some old woman's voice go, "Too loud that." Straight away.
no.
Yeah.
Like, of course it's going to feel too loud. You've been sat inside. They weren't even talking when I
Yeah,
walked
exactly,
in.
yeah.
There may as well have been no one in there.
Back in the 90s when I was doing the military circuit, and I was in a like a 70s glam rock band when it was still okay to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, it's past. It's kind of past its sell by date now. But yeah,
Tell Kiss that.
and it was full makeup and everything like that. We played this one, and they were that annoying that they asked us to turn the drums down.
That's not mic'd up.
It's a drum kit. I says there's actually, and we did it. We actually didn't put any drums through the PA and just said that's the drums as they sound acoustically. He can't turn them down. Well, he can play quiet. I can't see. I went, no,
Yep.
he can't. Says if you want us to go home, well, no, but and it were like, you know what you're getting.
You should let him have a go. You know,
No,
just
man.
you hit it with it.
Play
You hit
that
it with a
quietly.
drumstick.
The other crazy one was playing. It was a hospital for veterans that had, shell shock and stuff like that.
Just you walking around with your snare drum.
No, we're playing and we've got all this, Kiss style makeup on and everything. And there's guys like we pretend machine guns and things like shooting us and pretend hand grenades and stuff like that. And it freaked. It was Andy Millard, singer. It absolutely freaked him out. And one of carers had to come and say, "Look, don't worry, they are just like that kind of thing. They're really stressed out. They are enjoying it. I promise you." Like,
yeah. Usually they throw stuff.
yeah. I'm just glad he's not got a real machine gun or a hand grenade. Oh man, that was weird.
You've played some weird ass gigs.
Oh
John.
man, military circuit was just brilliant. But,
Yeah.
that was one of the weird ones.
I like the biker gigs because they're
Yeah, biker gigs.
biker gigs are great.
Well, the military, they're a lot like that kind of thing where you have they actually want to see you. They've booked you, and it used to be like block bar parties or end of year parties, sergeants' messes and things like that, where they properly, party. And I think at that time we were most we were basically the poor man's gutter band. Yeah, but we were most requested band on military circuit for like 2-3 years. So, and I was earning loads of money. It's brilliant.
And now you work with me.
And now I vote you. But yeah, and I was young and fit and handsome and things like that. It was a wonderful time. But yeah, it was great. But all that's all gone now. I mean, the military bases have all gone. We've all shut down. We don't have any military.
John can't hear that. He's not got headphones.
No.
Yeah.
I could hear it,
Is
obviously.
it really
There's a
loud?
genie coming in the room.
I think that was Dreamland just
Yeah,
going.
I dream of genie. Whatever.
Yeah, we've played some. I think collectively some very interesting places. I can always remember that place in Middlesbrough that had a big sign on the wall that said, "Please do not staple things to the wall," but the sign was stapled to the wall.
Do you remember the milk tray man?
Yes. Speaking of smoke machines, yeah, there were a guy dressed like the milk tray man dancing about, and I decided to take the mick out of him, and because there were a lot of smoke on the dance
Because
floor.
you didn't have your glasses or your contacts in.
Yeah,
So, and,
and then as the smoke cleared, this poor lad had got Down syndrome, and I'd been taking piss out of him for 5 minutes.
He's going, hey, just this one's going out to milk tray man. Matt, no! Ixnay on the milk tray man.
You live and learn.
Yeah.
He's
I imagine that was quite a steep
he's
learning
got,
curve.
he's got Down syndrome and his face just went, oh shit. You had a skinful that night as well.
That back when I did have a drink on stage.
Yeah.
I've not drank on stage for many moons, but yeah,
That's probably why.
yeah. Final nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I've cancelled myself. Yeah.
Cancel culture started with Matt Black.
Yeah.
No, it always seemed like a good idea to just kind of, because I was more confident when I was drunk on stage,
Yeah.
and I thought I sounded great, and then I'd see these. Well, I wouldn't see them because camera phones weren't very good at that time. I just looked like something off Minecraft, but I could hear the sound, and it was like, even distorted, that's definitely out of key. It was awful, and I'd break things as well, like mic stands that just come apart. Like I'm going through mic stands. I don't even know what I'd done to them. Can't even remember. Yeah, and smoked as well, and then wondered why I just got a sore throat all the time.
Well, that's it.
Back then.
Looking after yourself and things like that. Yeah.
I'd always get.
You've done it before, where you've kind of had two on the trot and kind of shot your wad for the first one.
Yeah, we tend to.
Did you lose your voice as well?
Yeah. At like pretty much the same second. Yeah. But it was like, yeah, we've had it where we tend to not to go with an easy vocal set list at times.
Yeah.
We'll push it just to really make people go, Jesus, like these guys are pretty good. I mean, they're pretty wrong, but just baffle them with lights and smoke.
You open with Burn and then go into Be Good to Yourself Journey.
Yeah. And then the next night you open with and you just got nothing. And
It's quite. It's like you're not really warming up to something there. You're just like straight in, aren't you? With Burn,
absolutely,
yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
But there's been a
He needs
couple
to
of
do
times.
some. He did like White Wedding or something.
A bit of Barry White. Just...
Don't go changing.
Oh, him other night.
Try to please me.
We played Southie the other night, and they have on a Friday, and they have they sing a Friday tea time, and everything was country and western version of everything. Wasn't it?
Even if it was, even if it wasn't, it ended up Shawaddy Waddy, a country and western version of Shawaddy Waddy.
I can't even imagine it. I don't know how it would work.
I can't remember what
in
song
my head.
I can't remember now. Yeah.
It did Ring of Fire, and then you went straight into
Which is fair enough. It's
yeah.
country and western.
and then you went straight and then you went straight into Shawaddy Waddy in the style of Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And we were sound checking him. We literally saw all five of us look at each other like, what the hell is he doing? But he was a very nice bloke, wasn't he?
He was a lovely bloke.
Really nice guy.
Then he threw a few yee-haws in. Not like a high-pitched yee-haw.
It went like a yeah. It went like a yeehaw.
I think sometimes you just find what you can do, and you stay comfortable.
Find a niche, yeah.
Yeah, there's no point trying to do things that you can't. There's lots of bands that do, don't there? And
As far as, five twats who've been pissing around in a dressing-up cupboard, yeah, that's us.
Yeah. Many times I've looked like I've just fallen into it. And it's just, what the hell? Like, see photos back now, it's like, what the hell was I doing? What? And it's like, even like a couple of months ago, I've got some tight spandex leggings that I now wear under my ice hockey gear because they just don't need to be seen.
To be fair, I look at things that I wore and I weren't even dressing up. So, wow, what were I thinking?
Well, again, we wanted to be one of those bands that not just wearing a pair of jeans and a t-shirt on stage.
When I used to try
nothing against bands that do that. Some bands that can do that fantastically well.
John, would you ever revisit the cycling shorts and Superman vest?
If I had that body, yes. But nobody needs to be subjected to £4 of mints in a £1 bag anymore.
Can we do that one day?
Lucky Emma.
No. I found the suit out. Honestly, I found some old clothes out. Because you could keep that. I might get back into that one day.
Yeah, Mary, I know that.
Yeah, all right, okay. And they fit Ollie. Like, shit.
Yeah, you're not getting back into
I'm not getting back into them. Yeah.
Livy goes through my wardrobe with me every now and then because it keeps expanding.
Why is it to Narnia? Or...
Yeah. And it's there's stuff in there that's just like, she's like, this needs to go. That's too small, or that's going. We'll give that to a charity, or we'll give that to a shelter, and things like that. And I think it might have been earlier this year. We found a T-shirt. There's just a plain black T-shirt, and she's like looking at it, and she says, "This can't fit you." I says, "No, it does. It's just a bit snug, and I think I described it as muscle fit."
The old sprayed on look, yeah.
Then we realised it was the T-shirt I wore when I first met her when I was 19-year-old, and it was baggy on me then.
See, I think
It's like a crop top now.
Yeah.
It's not actually because it's been given away.
See, I would actually keep shit like that because it's like obviously this is the first time we've actually met, but we've known social media wise for quite a while. I think that's a great story. The fact you met at 19, like went through a load of shit, and then come back together, and now you met. I think that's a great story.
Yeah, Libby don't hold on to anything. That's straight out with the T-shirt. Yeah.
Oh, she's my kind of girl. I'm mercenary with it.
I'm not even sure she's still got a wedding ring. She's her wardrobe is like.
He's got rid of all them Sergio Tacchini T-shirts and Tommy Hilfiger.
Hilfiger.
This says Tommy Hilfiger.
Turkey special.
Yeah, I bought it in Turkey. Yeah.
No, Libby's wardrobe's like a third full at all times, and then as soon as something else comes through post, something's getting donated or sold. People turn up to the house sometimes. Like, there'll be some random woman. She'll go, "Oh, I'm here for the top." What? And Libby's not there, and she's not told me, and I ain't got a clue what she's on about.
What top? Just come and have a look.
Yeah,
all right.
Help yourself.
Is that code for something? Is it? Are you wanting substances? You're at wrong house. 3 doors down.
Yeah,
Every street's got one.
Yeah,
just follow the smell.
I'm very much like Libby. If I've not worn that for 3 days, I get rid of it. It's fine.
No, I'm not. I'm ridiculous. I've got that many items of clothing now that I'll rotate stuff and not wear things for a long time, and then somebody will go, "Oh, I like that. Is that new?" No, I've just not worn it for 5 years. It's only been worn once.
Like Jinko jeans and stuff like that, and Jinko tops from like nearly 20 odd years ago, and all he's like, they're worth a fortune.
Because I go through these phases, like
all right,
I get a tiny bit bigger. And then I go back smaller again, and I just that's all I keep doing. So I've got the clothes for when I get that bit bigger, and the clothes for when I get that bit smaller again, and so I'm sorted.
See, I went one extreme to other because at one point I was like 22 stone.
Really?
Yeah.
You're tall, aren't you? How tall are you?
Yeah, I'm 6'4".
6'4".
Yeah.
No wonder he's banging his head in here.
And
you just when I first met you, it was I think I was in Tin Man with Dale and Andy. And we played up at Milestone, and you jammed with us on Here I Go Again.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I met you, kind of thing. And you were big then, but then you'd just started when I joined, though, because it about 6 months after that, weren't it, or something like that. And you just started to lose it all. You'd lost a load of weight.
Yeah. We were IVF.
For IVF,
Yeah, I were basically, I just wrecked my body because it was like rock star lifestyle, doing a gig and then going and having a curry and 5 pints afterwards. But doing that every week, and it was just, at the time I weren't going to the gym at all. The gym were just like a friend. It weren't a place. It were a guy.
It's just someone that takes money out your account once a month.
Jim was the barman.
Jim was the guy who was bringing me the food. So yeah, I just ballooned up to 22 stone, and then it was just like trying for a family, and it was just like, you need to lose weight. It's like, well, how much weight? And he was just like, a lot. So at the time I lost 8 stone. I went all the way down to 14 stone.
Wow.
I'm not that now. I've rediscovered food.
Yeah.
But
so good though.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no better than something that you think if I have a few of these, this could kill me. There's no finer.
Yeah, I'll fry things sometimes, and I'm just like, it's worth that 6 months. Losing that 6 months.
Yeah.
It was so nice. John always said, like, because he were always like, as much as he took the mick out of me and he'd be mean to me, we're always for my own good, but he always said stuff like, he'd go, one day that singer's going to be massive, but I think he meant in weight. just based on, like, I'd turn up to rehearsal room
it was always, I said, one day you'll have a burger, and then the next day it'll be on your ass. That's the thing, yeah. Because
I would just built like a racing snake. You could see my ribs, like, and I'd turn up, and this were at the time where you could spend £10 on pound saver menu at McDonald's, and you could get 8 cheeseburgers and a Coke and the fries, and that were I would eat all that during rehearsal while texting, and you had to text old school as well.
yeah.
We had to
We-
press
Oh,
multiple
yeah, actually,
times.
yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted a letter, you had to press a button
3310.
3 times. Yeah.
Nokia 3310, indestructible.
I had a 3210 with the front cover that you could change on it.
Oh, you were posh.
Yeah.
You were proper posh.
I always remember the Nokia advert, and there's like a man and a woman. It must have been in like some Paris flats or something, and they got the the washing line thing with the
Oh, they were
pull it,
switching it.
swing,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were swapping the blue for the red. Yeah.
I remember that.
I can't remember what I had for my tea yesterday, but I remember adverts like that.
I can't remember any of that stuff.
I have got a bit of a weird thing though, where I'll go on YouTube and I'll type in a year and type in British TV adverts or British
See,
cartoon themes.
Yeah, I can remember stuff like that.
So I'll watch. There's compilations of them, and they're amazing because the nostalgia you feel from them.
Some of them don't age well, though, do they?
No, they're awful. Yeah, I'm like, well, whoop, that's a bit racist. But yeah, there was something that I watched the other night, and it was like a reel that someone they'd signed into MSN Messenger, and it had got all the sounds of like people logging in and getting messages and getting nudged and stuff. And honestly, for about 5 seconds, I just felt everything that's stressful leave my body. I'm like, oh, what is this magical place? This is Friday night as a child, sat eating chocolate and drinking fizzy pop, and I've not got school for 2 days now. I've got £5 and I feel loaded.
Generation, you.
See, and it's like talking to a lad who I work with. He's only 18, and it's like I remember going around and calling for my mates. He's like, "You did what?" It's like,
Yeah.
I used to call for my mates. So what do you mean, like MSN them? No. Literally, go and knock on the door and see if they're coming. Well, why didn't you just text them and say we didn't have that?
And you weren't always allowed to use phone.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
Like because it used to cost.
Yeah.
And then there was this deal eventually where it was free after 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to use internet, but your mum needed to use phone.
You topped
Yeah,
your
you
phone
could-
up with like £10. First mobile phones, because I had my dad's old Philips one. It was this big thing about that
Well,
big.
it was right, your dad's or Phillips.
And you topped it up with £10, but the calls cost you like £1.50
Yeah.
for a minute. So
I remember as a kid, I'd phone home. It'd be, Mum, it's me, phone me back, no credit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that was it.
yeah.
Yeah. I always get that. Like, if you'd had a birthday recently, you're probably going to have a tenner on your phone.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
And then your mates would ring you for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Ring me back. I love it. This podcast. It's obviously more people that just I know and friends and things like that. And we're all in a certain age bracket, so I've not really had any what I would class as young people on. So it's really alienating anybody that's younger. That's going, what are they talking about?
Well, that's their fault.
No, yeah.
They've never lived.
like I think I was talking about cassette tapes on a previous episode and stuff like that. And I used to work with children in care, and he mentioned they were like, "I know what a CD is," and they were like, "What's a tape? What are you on about a tape?" And they'd get confused if I said that if I said I'd taped something, or so I'd say I'm taping it on my phone. What are you on about? What do you mean tape? You're recording it. Yeah, that's what I mean, but it's just how it's embedded in my brain that I'm taping things. I'm taping stuff.
Because it was even the videos and the VHS. Oh, will you tape that tonight on telly for me? Will you tape that on BBC? Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you went out, you'd have to ask somebody.
Yeah.
My mum and dad would get grandparents to tape and stuff.
Yeah. Don't want to miss that. Can you tape that for me, please? Yeah.
I used to get in trouble because I used to forget loads of stuff. It'd be like when your parents go out, it's like, right, we're going out, make sure you tape whatever, and I'd forget always. And you get a right belting for it. It's like you're just like, yeah, just.
My nan, bless her, she's not here anymore, but she did exactly the thing that Peter Kay
press
said.
2 buttons as well.
Where
physically press that button and then that button.
That
Oh
one.
yeah, you know when you're recording something. My nan literally, I don't know whether or not Peter Kay's being honest about his nan or not, but she did actually think you had to be quiet while you were recording things in the living room. So she'd be going, "Shh, we're recording." She'd be whispering all the time and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant.
See, we're like old people in technology. We've got John and technology, but he's actually fairly savvy, aren't you now?
Yeah, I was because I was always a nerd. I was always a computer kind of geeky kind of nerd.
I mean, the one John, I know very little about equipment. I'm fairly new to music side of stuff because I was 27 when I first started actually singing out. So like all the mixing desk and all that stuff, I've had to when like previous members left, it was all their gear. So when we decided we were going to carry it on, I had to learn it all. So I learnt it from him, which were great.
I bet you've got no patience when anybody else is trying to do something.
Exactly that, yeah, exactly that. And we tried to record at Greensboro last time, wasn't it? And you tried to record onto the SD card.
Yeah.
And you got really annoyed that you couldn't do it. And I was just that annoying twat that, because he'd looked at it and he was trying to figure it out and he was under stress to do it. And I just walked up and I went, oh, just do that.
Oh, I've done that before. But even you can be tech savvy, but you can just be a complete knob. Where you kind of like when we were using the Axe effects and things like that, and you'd run through my old one and I'd run through one of the others, and I'd be like, "Why is there no sound, John?" And because you're on stage and you're doing a sound check and you flap, and you're kind of looking around and you're checking all the wires at the back, not realising that you've not turned the fucking volume knob up on the front of it. And it's just something as simple as that, or you've forgot to plug the lead in the front of it.
Yeah.
You know?
It don't happen very often when you get older though, does it? And you get really annoyed when you do, and it's embarrassing because when you're in your first ever bands, the amount of people like trying to line check and they're like, soundman's going, there's nothing coming through, and they're like 16-year-old and they turn around and not actually put a jack lead into it.
Oh, it still happens. You still do it and you still just go, oh, what a bell end.
Well, we don't. We generally turn to each other and just go,
ooh. Yeah, Charlie Allshapes. Yeah, it still happens. You know, you'll still kind of, oh, I've not switched my amp on. You know, because there's a separate power amp to switch on.
I've had it with moments where I've obviously made plenty of mistakes on stage when we've done gigs. Or I've done a gig before with a previous band. Don't even know what I was thinking about. That I sang the words from a completely different song over that song. That's. Have you done?
Like that,
have you done this?
Oh yeah.
and it's because I think they're in the same key and they've got that similar kind of vibe.
Yeah,
so I just started with the wrong line, and then I just thought I'm just gonna have to riff this out and follow it, and I carried on until I got to
a set of certain words to separate ways for.
Yes, you have.
Till I got to chorus.
The last 30, 40 years.
Love Divine and all that, wasn't it?
I've got no idea. I was just like,
when we recorded a CD, just people asked us for years about, have we got a CD? Have we got a CD? When we finally do one, it's all fucking downloads and.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So it's like, why have we done a CD now? Well, sorry.
Well, we know because we tried the download one before doing the CD, didn't we?
Yeah, and we made about £3.80 between five. And so we did the CD, and then he were doing we did Separate Ways, and he were doing the harmony to it. And then when he sang it, he's like, what are you singing, John? And then he told me the words that he'd been singing for 20 years of doing it. It's like, it's not that.
Yeah, I didn't actually know what they were. Feeling like, mine.
There's still songs, even while checking the lyrics, I'm still unsure what they are, because there's like a line in Stereophonics Dakota, and there's conflicting lyrics on the internet, and I don't know which one's real. I thought one of them, in one of the lines, it says something like, it's either children grown having some laughs or chewing gum having some laughs.
See, I'd go with a chewing gum. I'd always
chewing
and I hear people singing different things, and there's different things coming up on the internet as well, and I still don't know to this day what it is. And me and John used to do it for a number of years. And me and Livy did a cover it in lockdown, and I'm not really sure which one I sang. I think I might have just gone like, I love that when I used to mumble words because I didn't know what they were. You just make a sound and pull your mic away just enough so that they can't tell that you're not actually saying words, but you're just hitting the right
vowel sound.
It's the right melody.
That's all I've done.
Yeah. I try and do that through an entire gig, to be honest with you.
That's all I've done for that. Yeah.
Club singer but one.
yeah, there's the well, yeah.
You've got to do what you've got to do to get through.
Absolutely. Sell your soul, man.
Ain't always easy.
No, we've had some cheese in the wind moments, but yeah, I can't remember any real bad kind of ones with you that.
They're always funny.
That's
We always
it.
turned them
always
into.
It always used to be Brian Adams songs. Wish we could stop this thing we started. You don't know how many choruses at the end, so you just keep going. Keep going.
It's called Can't Stop This Thing We Started.
Yeah, wish we could stop this thing we started.
Did we used to put a bit of gaffer tape as a cross on stage, on floor, and we said that if someone makes a mistake, don't look at them because it makes it obvious. You have to look at the cross. But then if anybody got anything wrong, everyone's heads would go.
One of my first kind of club band I was in with a lovely chap called Roy McLeod. Was in Big Chill, which were a signed Sheffield band. They had a little side project, a club band that they had. And Roy had gaffer taped S and F for the drummer.
Right.
And if it was too, slow and fast. So if it was too slow, he'd tap his foot that side. It was too...
That is
quick,
amazing.
Quick, speed up.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
You do though, like with drummers though, it's like sometimes, especially if you've got someone depping or anything like that, and it's a little bit sluggish, you think, oh my God, and you're trying to either play an instrument or sing or both, and try to give them a clear indication of what you want. They just look at you like a dog that's been shown a card trick, and it's like, come on.
There's only so many times you can like twitch your head
Before people start worrying about you.
Yeah. He's having another one.
It's happened.
Why is he rolling
All
his head
them
like
all
that?
them cheeseburgers are catching up on him.
You're having a stroke.
It sounds like it. He's not even saying words.
When he's singing separate ways, he's going, yeah.
His face has dropped.
See, I worry about John all the time though with stuff because he's battled through so many health problems.
Yeah.
With his
Well, to be fair, recently my dad's he's literally just out of hospital on Friday because he's had a valve replaced in his heart and a graft on his aorta. And straight away I phoned Johnny. It's like, John will have had that.
yeah. Get some advice off John. Yeah.
He'll a number of things that John's had, that's got to be on the list.
Yeah. John, I've got AIDS. What did you do? I just walked it off.
I don't want that again.
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
On a serious note, are you all right now? 'Cause you've had loads of like anything that could attack a guitar player. You've had.
Yeah.
Anything that could potentially slow a guitar player down. You've had.
Yeah. So I had diagnosed about 2008, 2009. Started just feeling, tendonitis is a guitar player issue. It's a problem, and you kind of know it's a repetitive strain. A bit, you've been practicing too much. Have a bit of a rest, and stuff didn't start going away, and it just felt a little bit different to kind of the tendonitis that I'd had. Anyway, I've always had the 2 patches of psoriasis on my legs. Went to the doctor and kind of went, this, and we'd done carpal tunnel tests and everything. That was all fine. So, this is really unusual. Says, would it be worth mentioning I've got psoriasis on my leg? I went, sorry, I took arthritis.
God.
So, and it was not the normal one that affects your joints, but where the tendons insert into your bones. So, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, shoulder kind of issues. And, you'd wake up one morning, it'd be gone. And then it'd be somewhere else.
Can't be the Elmo tickle tester guy.
But luckily,
to give that up.
Luckily, my hands were the last thing to go. Everywhere else, knees, calves, I had operations on my Achilles because my calves were tensing up because of the tendons tensing up too tight. So your Achilles then becomes too tight, so you get tendonitis in your Achilles. And they have to go in and scrape all the crap out of your Achilles because they're all lumpy. An injection in your spine to numb you so you're awake while they're doing it.
Make it stop.
Oh, good fun.
You can kind of feel back of your own legs like, ooh.
Yeah.
I can see why he's grumpy.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, pain-wise, I've been okay. Last last 18 months has been tougher. I mean, it was tough when I'd kind of, because the kind of crap I had to do with I'd smell like an 80-year-old, worse than normal, smelling of DP and liniment and and tuba grips everywhere.
It's mashed tatty on Thursday.
Yeah, there came a point where all that just went away and I was absolutely fine. And that's when I joined Thor, because I thought I'd had a break and I thought I'm actually feel better now, because all the medication was started to work and was kicking in and everything. And it was like, I said, look, do you mind if I have a shot at kind of coming and auditioning for you?
I actually remember that day, and it's like one of them I know where I was moments, because I were at work. I'm on the bank running Rotherham, right where the Lloyd's is opposite the mail coach, and I got a message, and we were auditioning and advertising for guitarists, because Kev had just said that his wife had just had another baby, and he wanted to step back and take time out. And I'd seen John, and I don't say it very often because I don't like being nice to John, because he's not nice to anybody. And it was like, I got this message from this guy. It's like, would you consider me? And it was like, play this cool, fuck yeah. And it was just like, I phoned the rest of the guys in the band. It's like, John Hardman's just messaged me saying, would we consider him like for guitarist? It's like, right, that's it, done. Close it now. That's it. We're done.
Good job you didn't get any character references.
I know. Well, luckily, two lads already knew him, and it was just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll fill you in. We'll prepare you.
Yeah.
But I'd seen him play. I'd seen him play with Tim Man. I think I'd seen it week before at White Lion.
Oh yeah.
Where you'd done.
You just not spent 2 hours in a van with him.
Yeah. Well, it was like. And it were when you played Mother Father, and it was just like, my wife were with me, and it was just like, I'd love to be in a band with that guy. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, would you consider me? And it's like, this is great. And then it's like 6 years later, it's like, why did I not say sorry? It's filled. It's like position not vacant anymore. Sorry, pal.
To be fair, there's not many like guitarists I've been in a band with where we've been able to do things like extreme, get the funk out, and not worry that the solo's not going to get played right.
Well, that's it. I mean,
I don't know. We're being nice to you now.
I don't play the solo right. I play it in my own weird way.
Enjoy this for what it is.
I know,
because it's not going to last very long. We're going to take back at you in a minute.
And we absolutely know that this will not be reciprocated back to us. We know.
Well,
yeah,
I know.
This bit's not even going in the podcast. I'm cutting this part. There's going to be some real good overdubs on here.
It is like
John's laughing while they're swearing at him.
Well, the fact John's laughing anyway, that must be dubbed in.
Yeah.
But it's like just knowing, like you say, you know it's going to be played right. You know it is, because it's John, and he's just meticulously accurate with
It's
stuff.
because as well he needs to play his bits right so that he can give you the death stare when you're wrong.
Well, I've always I don't kind of play note for note stuff. I never have wanted to do, because A, it's too difficult to learn, but B, because I've always wanted to kind of be my own guitar player. So when I do Hammer to Fall, I don't play the main bits where it's like the dun, 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 dun. You can't change that. Yeah. It has to be done.
Oh yeah.
But the other little bits you can kind of play around with, and the outro you can kind of make your own. But
there's certain guitarists that they play those hooky moments in a solo, but then even Brian May or Slash, they'll just go off on one and do what they feel live at that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes the performance unique.
That's why I like what we do with Thor, is that we'll do stuff, and we might play the same songs in the same order a couple of nights in a row, but they'll not be the same. Mainly because we can't remember what we've done the previous time.
Mistakes are in a different place this time.
It's just where we put it this time. But it is that we'll just feel it. It's like that night that felt right with that one. Yeah,
there's like certain like breakdowns and things you can drag out, or you may not feel it that night, but you kind of, when you've played together enough, don't you? Especially because you feed off the audience. You think if they're really feeling this, then we we can really
and generally
play on this.
you'll go for something on stage and you'll try it, and then you'll think, oh, that was good, I'll leave that in for the next time, and then you'll try and remember that, and then often as not, your solo will have changed over the course of 6 months because it evolves. Yeah, you'll try different things.
It's when we recorded stuff, and it's like we'll listen to stuff like a gig we recorded like 3 months ago, and it's like I don't sing that anything like that now.
Yeah,
I sing it completely different, or he plays something, and it's like it's now better. There's nothing wrong with that then, but it's now better, and it's just tweaked.
I think for a singer as well, you change things to suit yourself, and I do it in kind of just solo cover gigs and things, stuff that I've sang for a long time. When I hear the original, I'm like, oh, that's not how I sing it. I learnt it that way, but for some reason it's changed into something else. Because I'll sometimes sing songs that are not traditionally rock and things like that, and they might be singing some kind of like poppy falsetto voice, but because I'm lucky that I can do it without the falsetto, I'm belting stuff in a different way. But then I've took it a little bit further than it should have been, and it probably wouldn't be ideal for the original release from that successful artist, but it kind of works in this moment in this little gig.
Does your mother know?
Yeah.
And it were
Shabba.
Yeah,
Shabba.
It were. Is it Tommy Johansson? His name, the guy he did all the Swedish Hits Go Metal stuff.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
He looks like a young Meatloaf, but he can scream and shred.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we'll just make it heavy. And
so he inspired me to just like work in finance or something. So I thought, what is the point?
Yeah,
I will never be able to do one of those
things.
things.
That Ingrid Malmsteen played the other day. So why bother? Why bother?
Yeah.
Make a coffee table out of it.
I like how he puts Ingrid
Malmsteen. So you tell him from all the other Ingrid Malmsteens in the business. Yeah.
What do we think? Is there some kind of sequel coming apparently of that? I have read. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't, and it's like Elton John and kind of all these kind of guys in it, and things.
Paul McCartney's in it apparently.
I'm more excited for the Ghostbusters one, to be fair.
No, much as I love it, because I think though that set of actors, Michael McKean and Harry Shearer and whatever,
Nigel.
It's a patron saint of quality footwear. They're fantastic, and like Mighty Wind and stuff like that, and Best in Show are fantastic films. But I think it was at a time where rock music was that grandiose and big and kind of pompous that you could send it up.
Yeah,
I don't think you can do it now.
So you say that, but you look at things like adverts now, and they'll put rock music in it, and you see like,
but you got to remember that they were a fictitious band, so nobody knew these songs and these songs were comedy kind of songs. You've got real rock stars who are pretty much past it now. Let's face it.
Well, you've got bands like Steel Panther who are amazing musicians, but they do take the mick out of all the cheesy things that happen in the 70s, 80s glam scene.
Yeah.
And then you've now got bands that were at the peak in the 70s and 80s supporting the parody band, which I find really bizarre.
It's like full circle flipped around.
I know, obviously, you've got to just, like you say, you're not going to take yourself too seriously if you're willing to do that.
See,
if
for me,
you're going
it's
to be
like,
the support band for that.
It is the kind of almost doing what you need to do to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And it were like we said, like when we first started doing the cape thing and whatever, it were a gimmick, and we took a lot of hammer for it. But it's like you compare it to something like Kiss or like for me it's like Lady Gaga. She went extreme.
Yeah.
Got a name known.
She were in Extreme.
She went in Extreme.
Oh,
no.
I was going to say.
But I mean,
I thought that was Gary Barlow. Gary
God.
Sharon. Yeah, sorry.
Shut up, John. But yeah, it's like going extreme, get yourself known, get noticed, and then just rein it back and just be you.
And then she's doing gigs just wearing like denim cut-offs and a vest,
Yeah.
rather than a meat dress and
Stuff. Rather than wearing a.
She was genius, really. You know, she completely played all the press everywhere.
But at the time,
rather than wearing Market Street from Morrison's.
yeah, she went M&S. This isn't just a meat dress. This is an M&S meat dress. It was kind of, at the time there were so many. When we started doing
Hey up,
this,
Lady G, usual this week.
yeah, medium rare.
There you go, pork chops.
It was like there were so many jeans and
Don't
t-shirts.
snip the sausages.
No. Oh, no. Don't need that. Don't need Jewish sausages. I mean, there were that many jeans and t-shirt bands. It was like we need to do something that.
Yeah.
We need to do something to be noticed as being different, and we took some flack for it.
Mm.
Now it's like it's paid off.
I think it was such a great idea as well, and it was done at the right time because that kind of film and that all the Thor stuff were getting so much interest. So people, when they saw that name anyway, they just go, oh, they're looking. What's that? They didn't know they had no idea what it was going to be until they start reading more on the poster and things like that.
I mean, it is the fact that we don't take it serious. We had when we played at Goba Road the other week. Somebody described me as a poor man, a wish Chris Hemsworth, and I just
even to just be the Wish
Yeah,
version's
the Wish
pretty
one,
good.
I'll take
So
that.
Right,
I don't even get the Wish Chris Hemsworth. So.
But it was just like I just put a little sad face on it, and she sent me a message apologising. Don't apologise. It's just I found it funny.
Yeah.
It's like it's fine.
Yeah.
They forget that because you're not Chris Hemsworth, like they could never reach him. He's probably not going to read her Facebook comment or tweet, but a smaller band that's doing a club circuit, and any kind of people like us, we're much more accessible. So when they put stuff, they don't. I think they forget that we might bump into them or we might actually like speak to them, but not defend ourselves and just go, oh, that was quite hurtful. Why did you say that?
You know yourself.
What do you mean wish?
There's generally not very much the public can say to hurt you. You know if you're doing well if bands hate you though, or if
start slating you for no reason,
or if bands actually say, "Wow, you guys are really good," kind of thing, and they're genuine about it. You know you're doing something right. You know, public. Okay, you know if they love you, they love you. You can have a crap night, and you know you think, Jesus, if you got your ears painted on or something, you know, what were you listening to? We were shy or whatever. But they'll still love it because, you know, you'll have an off night. But other people in bands generally know. And generally, if they hate you and start hurling abuse, you know you're doing something right. You're getting under their skin somewhat. So.
Yeah, I've got people that I've never even met. Like I can remember I used to do that charity event, Redemption Festival. I get bands like applying to play and stuff, and I had a band that applied to play, and they were. I mean, I'm not going to mention the name because there's some other things that's gone on amongst them that's we don't really want to talk about. But the drummer had basically spoke to the drummer in one of my bands, and basically they realised that they're in the same band as me. Bear in mind, I'd never met this band or this person or knew any of the kind of circle, and they said, "Oh, you're in a band with Matt Black." It's right, arsehole him.
Oh, he did know you then.
I was like, how does he know? I must have been around me at some point. So I just thought, well, I'm not booking him then. There's not many positions of power I have in life, but yeah, calling bullshit on you, sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. We'll take kind of and established, because when I was saying that, I was thinking of established kind of guys who know, like Peanut Pete.
Yeah.
You know, who will actually, you know,
if you've been shit, he'll tell you.
Yeah. And you kind of
but I like that about him, because he's not doing
it
in an horrible way.
No,
exactly. Yeah.
He calls things out when it needs to
and
be.
if you've been good, you did well tonight.
He's just an average gig goer. He likes what he likes.
Well,
he knows what's good.
He's not nice. He's cooking shrimps on barbies.
He's gone to Australia, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Hello over there. It's freezing over here, by the way. Raining again.
It is freezing.
Yeah, absolutely. We had like snow and lot, like Winter Olympics.
Peanuts a legend. Peanut Pete. It doesn't eat the peanuts anymore. He's not had peanuts for a long, long time, has he? I think.
They're having Vegemite now. I think
The allergy.
No, I think just the high salt content probably. So
I've not seen him for years. Last time I saw him, it were in a. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's a club in Sheffield. It's somewhere near where you live, and I always get terrified when I drive near it at night because it's near a school that's got one of those bollards that's painted like a child.
Lane Top.
oh,
That's
Top,
it.
Yeah,
That's
Lane
it.
Top, yeah.
Oh my god! Every
And
time
they
I
are
drive,
the freakiest thing ever.
freaks
aren't
me
they?
out.
Yeah.
I always forget
Yeah.
that it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not. I'm not driving on the curb or anything. It's just because I just see it last second. But it's so
Bollard.
bolt
Oh my
up.
God, what's that?
It's this bollard that's so bolt upright,
It is-
staring at you.
It's not a natural position.
No,
is
it's not.
No.
Reminds me. Can you remember those little dolls they used to sell in? I don't know if it was 70s. And I know they existed in 80s. It was like a crying child that it'd have its back to you, and it was like a little 3 foot, 2 foot doll or whatever, and they put it in corner of a room, so it just looked like a little kid crying. Can you remember them?
My neighbour has
maybe-
got one of those.
Oh, thank God! Thank God, I've not just dreamt this.
I don't know whether it's one of those dolls or an
Have to
actual,
strike
or
a light
like
on
a guy kind of dressed up. It's a kid kind of facing the front door like this in an anorak kind of thing, and you walk past and kind of, what the fuck is that? Like, oh, okay.
It's very easy to just creep yourself out with the
Yeah.
simplest of things. I always like if a friend's moving into a new house, I always like to ask them. I'll go, "Who's that little kid in bedroom window?" They've got no children.
Oh my! Yeah.
You just see the colour drain from the thing. What?
No, I've had
Just a
that
little kid
with ours.
watching me walking down path.
Yeah.
Still not told them. Surprise.
Beyond the Nether: How Not to Live with a Mental Illness. The debut non-fiction novel from Matt Black. Available on Amazon.
Ricky the Rockstar, a music-related story for children written by Matt Black. A book that teaches kids about the importance of friendship. Available now on Amazon.
Mosquito.
Hello, we're back.
Just get that green fly.
I should buy one of those. What are they called? They have in the films. Little, I forgot what the actual name is.
clap.
The clapper.
Yeah.
The clapper.
To your last
Is
what
it-
do you want for Christmas, Matt? The clap.
The clap.
please.
Yes, please.
Like the clap for Christmas. What?
Right. So we'll pick up where we left off. I can't actually remember what we're talking about, but I wanted to ask John as well about his involvements in Matrix, which is the amp company that.
Not the film.
Yeah. Why is John floating in the air?
Yeah.
So obviously you were talking about during the little incident with the flood where your Matrix cab had been damaged, and you were
Yeah.
talking about that being a prototype. So
So-
you were involved in that
Yeah,
early
so
on.
this is when I kind of started having health issues and my back had started to go and things like that, and carrying massive kind of 412 cabs around and massive heavyweight kind of valve amps was just getting too much. And for club gigs and things like that, it's like, okay, so the latest thing on the scene at that time was a piece of equipment called the Axifex, Fractal Audio Axifex.
Yeah. You told me about that before it actually was out on the internet and everyone knew what it was.
Yeah, and there was only about, it was still a kind of home-built kind of thing by the guy that did it. And then I think there was the standard and the ultra. So I ended up getting the ultra at the time. And
Of course.
Well, and it was a bugger to program.
It was probably more
but
expensive.
Yeah.
Worse than that, it was a bit like the old pod kind of Line 6 pod. Great idea, brilliant. How do I amplify it? It sounds great, but I'd still have to take my big amp out on stage to kind of make it loud enough. So the hunt was on for companies that built lightweight power amps, because you don't want to be kind of building up a big rack full of heavyweight tube power amps when you've just got rid of your tube amps. So it was like, how can I lighten all this stuff and ease my back and ease the loading? And there was one company that we found in South Wales, and Andy, who's now my boss, still my boss, kind of started chatting, and he did these PA power amps for the PA industry. And we said, look, there's possibly a market here, because there's all these guitar players that are swapping over and using this new technology, and if you play your cards right kind of thing, and you do a guitarified version, a version for us guitar players, it might do well. So he sent, an amp up, and I kind of didn't like it. Which is
Shocker.
Well, yeah, and he was kind of like, well, what don't
Did you let him know?
Yeah, that was it. So,
Did you give him this stare?
And I'd actually bought one of his old kind of
Just a picture on an email.
an old amp, one of his older amps, and I said it needs the kind of the bottom end off this new one and the top end off the old one, and he went, so it just needs softening up then, and he so then I became the kind of guy that explained what guitar players wanted to him, and he did the technical stuff. So that's kind of how it started. So I became his,
Bitch.
yeah. And when we were doing speakers and things, I'd go down there and he'd say, "Have a listen. What do you think?" And he'd adjust amps there. What do you think of this? Is this better or worse? Is it, like a bit like an optician? I'm going, yeah, that's better.
About
Yeah.
the same.
He went, is number one?
Yeah, number two.
Or number
and
two.
three. Yeah.
Always got to do the voice.
and that was it. So I became the kind of sound tester, and then when we did like guitar shows and stuff, showing off the product, and people had never seen an Axe Effects in the UK kind of thing, and we were doing Matrix products for the Axe Effects stuff, and people would come along and hear them. So I'd started doing demos for that, and then I've been with the company since 2009 now. So, unfortunately, because of lockdown and because of the knock-on effects of lockdown, which is basically a global electronics parts shortage, we've had to kind of, almost call it a day. We can kind of do servicing and repairs still, even though that's going really slowly. We just haven't got the parts to build amps at the moment.
It's such a shame as well, because it's like kind of revolutionary type of stuff. I'd turn up to John's house before these products even started rolling out to the public, and I'd go, "Oh, what's that?" Because he's always got loads of stuff in his big music room, but there's always something new every time you turn up. And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Pick it up." What do you mean? Just pick that cab up. And you could just pick these like massive cabs up with one hand, and I'm like, "What's this?
What's this black magic that you impose on me?"
Yeah, because people have done lightweight. I mean, lightweight speakers aren't anything new. They've been in the PA industry for a while.
I wish we had light speakers.
They are.
I've got a Matrix cab there and a Matrix amp on the rack on the other side of the studio. It's magical stuff.
There's the guy from Venue 23 that's selling the same cab that you've got.
Yeah.
And so I sent him the link to it, and he's but oh yeah, he's got. It's like, do you know everybody that's got these amps? And it's like, I remember him now. Yeah, because
Well, you were speaking to a lot of people as well, weren't you? And some like different artists
well,
as well,
I
higher
did,
end.
Yeah, A&R stuff as well. So,
the stuff you said about when Def Leppard were playing at Bramall Lane, and you messaged the sound tape.
Yeah, Aidan, Rick Savage's guitar tape. Yeah, Metallica use our amps. Megadeth were using our amps at some point. Five Finger Death Punch, Limp Bizkit. Steve Vai, I know, has got one somewhere. Devin Townsend has got quite a bit of our gear still, even though he can't find it. He says. No, lots and lots of guitar players, and because it's one of those things that works and sounds great. So if you can kind of find that, a good product, does what it says on the tin, makes that sound that's coming out of this.
That'll be copyrighted, surely.
No, but Matrix. We knew we're riding on the coattails of kind of Fractal Audio, and then other people like Kemper and who were coming out with this technology. But you need that to be able to make that work to its fullest potential. Otherwise, it's just a studio piece of gear. If you want to be able to take it out live, you need to be kind of able to amplify it, let it shine through, let that do the work, not colour the sound, not change the tone of it, just make it louder.
Yeah, I've seen that there's been a lot of people trying to replicate that now as well. There's other little amps and these lightweight things coming along that there weren't
Class D,
before.
Class D
It's
is
basically-
wonderful.
It's I found like anything in it. It's trying to make it easier for people, like they almost, but without.
Is that your fault?
Yeah.
I'm glad it's your phone and not your stomach.
Yeah.
Surely no frog can get in here. Surely. I'm shocked when there's a fly in here, to be honest, because I'm like, how did you get in here?
It's everybody wants it easier these days. It is like I suppose it's like what we said about the show. Everybody went simple. It's like, oh, I can't be bothered with that anymore. Nobody wants to carry these big heavy speakers because they're just big and
But
heavy.
you were still with stage fright when I started using right towards the tail end of it, and I'd got the Axe effects. And I remember Cherie, who was doing our sound at the time, just going. Not playing a
What,
note on
she
the guitar.
made that noise?
Yeah,
She's a guitar.
Yeah, that's
They've
No,
all
she
got
just
names.
went, I don't have to do anything. That sounds great. She says, that's the best guitar sound you've ever had. And through battling all that, because every guitar player has done this, and when they've been on stage and they thought they've had an absolute blinder, and they've got, oh wow, that was great, that was fantastic, and some guy comes up to you, couldn't hear you, mate, and you just go, oh. What were all that for? You know, I've just played one of the, I thought I sounded great on stage, and you couldn't hear you out front, kind of thing.
I've had that with, you've probably had it as well, like people say I couldn't hear a singer, and
yeah.
you are physically wearing yourself out. Or have you got a good, you've got...
To be fair, I was just being polite. It's his house. So I just agreed with him.
Or have you got like a dog's bollocks
No,
PA that
I
kind
just
of...
make sure I can be heard.
Yeah.
But
I'm
no-
quite noisy though, but even
Lee's
then...
the same. Every time we sound check and I sound check, Lee just goes,
Yeah. I mean, it's a digital...
which is rubbish because you don't get to sound check for very long.
Yeah.
As a guitar player, you just goes, ding, 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 goes, that's fine.
Yeah, that's that, yeah.
It's.
Oh.
I mean, it's.
Okay.
You got a digital amp into a digital desk. It's like nothing's. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Every week the sound is the same. Every kind of, apart from changing my sound on stage a little bit sometimes to compensate for like a hollow stage.
Yeah, I
or
was gonna say it's the
a
room.
boomy stage or
yeah,
a room or whatever. But out front it stays the same every single time, and all that's done.
We do get comments about it a lot, don't we? About the sound, the quality of the sound. It's like Paul from Top Gun. We actually got the new guys in, and like he were massive help. Absolutely, he's a guy that he knows his stuff. And
Was you I think I saw you were one of the guys that offered some equipment when you
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
it as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that I love about the music community. It's not like you see with sports. It's like
It's not as competitive.
I'm a
yeah.
fan of these, so you've got to hate them. It's like your speakers fuck. No worries, I've got one. Use that one. And
Do you need monitors? Do you what? No, we had the rack. We've got in-ears and stuff like that, so we were fine for that. But yeah, the offers of stuff and what lights do you need and stuff. I said, well, we might be all right because Spen had a few our keyboard player kind of thing and all the rest of it. So, but yeah, they were great. But
Paul's great, and he's been to watch it a couple of times, and it's like I'll happily go and say, "What's it sound like?" And I don't want sounds great. I want to know what
You
it
want
sounds
honest,
like.
yeah.
And Paul will tell you, and it's great. And I appreciate that, like we're saying, like with
because
Peanut
everything's on stage, we don't have a sound guy.
Yeah.
That's the bizarre thing, and we've not had a sound guy for ages.
Ever.
So all the
Yeah.
all the solos are boosted so they cut through. Things like that. Same with keyboard parts and stuff. So as much as we do on stage, we can do on stage, and just have
The dynamics are in the playing and
That's
stuff
it,
rather
yeah,
than
yeah,
leaving it to
yeah,
a sound man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it again, the technology thing is like the iPad linked to the desk, so I can be out front with sound checking. And I can, if it needs to go up a little bit, turn it up a little bit. And then it's like, well, it's done.
And the other thing is because he's mad at, first, second, third song, he's out. He's off stage. He's out in the crowd. He's climbing on tables. He's doing all this kind of stuff. So
But that again, that it's not that's a function as well as
Yeah, but he's
part
listening.
Of the show.
Yeah, because you
It's
can
like-
go back and go, well, I'm going to tweak this.
That's
Absolutely.
it. First
Yeah.
3 songs in, everyone's kind of settled in and he's listened.
It's like, oh, wait a minute, you can
Yeah.
hear John. Let's turn that down.
Yeah, that's really piss him off.
Yeah. I can't hear myself in my ears anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, that to be fair, that was a mistake I have made before.
But
Like with the digital, when we first got the desk, I've just pressed the wrong button. So I thought I got the main mix, so I turned John's guitar down. What I actually did was turn it down in his monitor. So then he couldn't hear himself at all. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, John, no, don't hurt me, John. and it was just the same. Oh, there you go. Done.
yeah.
See, I'm the only one in FAHRAN that's kind of on in ears. Josh, the drummer, he'll sometimes use in ears. Or in fact, he does now because we've got like clicks for like sub drops
Yeah.
and stuff like that for like brutal breakdowns. But then everyone is pretty much on in ears in the Roxette tribute, and Joe Lally kind of controls it all. And then he gave Andy, the drummer, access to start doing it in a rehearsal. Just straight on the wrong user.
Yeah.
Shuffling all Joe's ears around, and Joe's playing. He's going, "What the hell's going on?" He's like, "Ah, drums are really loud." And Andy's going, "I can't hear anything."
See, that's the beauty with that Personas desk, isn't
Yeah.
it? That you can allow, like, people have got the phones or the tablets or whatever, and it's like, right, you've got access to that channel, nothing else. And technology is amazing. It's like before it'd be like, with an analog desk, obviously, it's like, oh, I need my monitor, so you're twiddling knobs and whatever. Nah, it's just a lot easier.
Yeah,
Like,
it's nice when it, like you say, it remembers it, and it is just subtle tweaks for the room.
That's it. That
Yeah.
is it. Yeah.
It's
Keep
like
it,
when we
yeah.
play different things, we've got settings for, like, when we play Crooks, we know, like, it's this, like, just, like, memory, recall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it, done.
yeah. Remember, it's amazing, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
you just remember all these rooms.
Yeah. Technologies. Yeah. That,
It's
like
good
I
job
say,
the desk does, because I'll see gigs come up on gig sheets and I'll think, I think I've been there before. Not right, sure. Then you kind of walk
terrible.
in.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm terrible.
We've done that
for-
a
yeah.
few times, haven't we? Like, if we had a bad gig somewhere, or not a bad gig, but like where we weren't on it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, I don't remember this. As soon as you walk in, you're like, oh shit.
Oh, that's where the milk tray man was.
I know where that was. It was Stoke. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, there's somewhere in Stoke. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Selectively.
I
ordered.
managed to forget about it until John reminded me, to be honest.
See, we've not got the milk tray man. We've got the guy who looks like he was off Emmerdale that goes to Crooks, isn't he? Who comes playing the umbrellas and as a like
man.
banjolele, really, isn't it?
Dude, yeah. Strange. Yeah, there are a few strange ones come, but yeah. No.
What's your worst ones? Can you? It doesn't have to just include Thor. It can be in your entire musical career.
Yeah, that kind of army hospital kind of thing was definitely up there for strange ones, because that was like, wow, okay. But on the other side, he kind of, once she'd explained, like, these guys were just quite enjoying it. They were all right, but they might act a bit weird. It was all right, and then you kind of, on the flip side of it, you thought, poor buggers, having to go through that.
Yeah.
But at least they were looked after. But Christ, yeah, awful. But other than that,
He's trying to be careful now.
Yes.
In case he's playing there.
What he's allowed to say.
Oh no, I've had nightmare ones. There was one where, and we were, I think it was one where we were, as Tiger's Eye, when we were supporting Guns and Oatcakes up at Crooks, and using their PA, and it was one of those nights, everything that could go wrong was going wrong. My guitar lead had crapped out on me, just everything. Every time the bar pumps come on, my MIDI board changed the effects unit. It reset to 0, and just power spike just kind of resets everything. So it's changed back to kind of a totally different patch and everything like that. So yeah, it was one of those. Yeah. And other than that, my first 2 ever gigs So when I was, because I didn't kind of...
Your first gig were a big one, weren't it?
Yeah, so I...
Jesus' 21st.
Oh, you bugger. So I started playing guitar. Yeah, started playing guitar quite late. So I didn't get into bands kind of as a teenager and things like that. I was in a band in Doncaster. That was a bit difficult to get to rehearsals and gigs and stuff and things like that. Didn't last long in that. But then just kind of honed my craft and then joined this chap called Delia, the band. And then at the same time, I was working in Brown Street in the Audio Visual Enterprise Centre. And down the corridor was Human League Studios, and at the time, Comsat Angel Studios, which is now Steelworks. And Russ, who was in Human League, kind of knew me as a guitar player. And the Comsats were getting ready to do an album and then do a tour. And he said, "Oh, John's kind of, a good player. Go and have a knockabout with him," kind of thing. So we had a knockabout, and then I got invited to play guitar for them as a touring guitar player. So my first gig was at the Octagon in front of about, 1,500, 2,000 people at the UK Electronica Festival with Delia. And then my second gig was in front of about 35 reps from Island Records at the back of Steelworks Studio, all stood at the back, probably, double length of this kind of room kind of thing.
Mine were in someone's garden. It was a barbecue.
That was sphincter tightening. Let me tell you, that was absolutely kind of squeaky bum time.
What, was that the band name?
No, that was like, oh my God. Because you think, oh, I'm just playing to Joe Bloggs in a pub kind of thing. That's so. These are reps from Island Records.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
feel like this is an history lesson, and there's going to be a test on this later.
Oh man, no, I we were supposed to be supporting Robert Palmer, off round Europe and then off round America, and I think 2 weeks before we were due to go on tour, Island Records dropped them.
Oh,
nice timing. Is that the sound of being dropped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was harsh.
I'm guessing that's
early
the
lesson.
As we all know, the grunge scene kind of coming in.
No, I mean, Comsats were always kind of like a U2 kind of indie rock band anyway, so they were kind of a bit oblivious to that. It was 89, so round about that time, 89, 90, you started getting dance and trance and stuff like that, and groove is in the heart, and all that kind of, coming, and that was the popular stuff. So yeah.
So you don't know words to Separate Ways, but you know words to that.
Oh, because it's annoyingly catchy.
It is, yeah. It's the only song I know by
It's like that riff,
Delight.
that Depeche Mode. Dun, 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 dun.
That just happens to get your foot twitching when you don't want it to.
Yeah.
Just twitching.
Yeah, just twitching all over the place.
So they were two memorable ones, but yeah, I mean, generally I've had kind of odd ones where things go wrong and stuff like that, but not total. Yeah, there was one in yeah. I've had a moment, a brain fart moment where I've kind of stepped out, on almost like an ego ramp. Started to play it. This was in the Schizophrenia, which was the 70s glam rock band, and it was Alvin Stardust, Mike Ukachu, I think it is. Something like that.
Still
the riff,
remembers it.
and I completely forgot the riff. I can remember it now, but it was like, and
when no one asked for it.
and Andy just went, and John. And kind of introduced me about 3 times, and I blanked. I was like, I can't remember the riff. Sing the riff to me. And he
Is
went,
that sober,
da.
I used to do that in stage fright though. Sometimes we'd do like I don't know, like a Lenny Kravitz song or something. It'd be "Are You Gonna Go My Way," and then it'd go into next guitar riff, and then I'd be like turn into a random band member, and it might be John or somebody, and I'd just go, what's first line to second
I've
verse?
done exactly
What's first line
that,
to second
yeah.
verse? And I couldn't remember. And then someone would say a word or two. Like Matt Bird used to say, he'd like tell me, and I'd go, whoa, straight off again, running off as if nothing had happened.
It's an awful feeling.
It's terrifying, isn't it? Because you know it's coming, and you think, I don't really know what to do.
It might only be for like a bar, but that bar feels like it's 10 minutes.
Oh, yes.
And suddenly all the eyes are on you because everybody knows that's where you should have come in.
John remembers it. Do you do that in Thor, or you just remembered it?
No, he's just one of them jukebox.
Yeah.
It's like when we first, when John did his first rehearsal, it was so annoying because it was like, oh yeah, we play this, and it's like, I've not played. It was like, oh, I've not played that. I can't remember what song it was. I've not played that one before. And then it was just like, it's somewhat like, and then he just note for note, it's like, you
plays it better than everybody
It's
else.
just,
I remember we used to do Any Way You Want It Journey, so I'd done that with Matt kind of thing, and Six
Love
of the
that
Best
song.
and stuff. So yeah, so I kind of remembered that. I was like, get nice, easy one early.
Yeah, because the chord progression bit's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's just a nice little widdly bit near the end.
Yeah.
Nice. The solo's great as well.
it was
And that's one of those you've got to get it right. Those bits.
If it's wrong, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Even if they don't really know it.
As long as you play that first that lick bit there with the bends in it, but then you can just go full on Neil Sean, like Neil Sean now, because he just lets rip, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he does. Yeah, and it's again one of those things. Just you get the kind of bits right, the hooks right, that you have to put in, and the rest because you can't, you can't change that kind of thing. That's got to be.
You can if you're me though, because if I play and then they go, oh, you can take solo on this, I'm like, tell me what key it is, and I'll just pentatonic the arse out of this.
Dude, you're doing the Pentecostal scale.
See, we should do that again. That song. It's a great track.
Yeah,
I love that song.
it is a good song.
And it's got that vocal wanking bit.
You want to do?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Which one's
Stone
that?
in Love.
Is that? Oh yeah.
Those crazy nights, I still
I remember what they sound like. I just can't remember what some of them are called now.
John will not know words.
Pushed them out my memory. What's your kind of your big guns in your set then?
Thunderstruck's
probably the one.
long way to the top now.
Yeah, well, when you mentioned that song, I hated the idea of it because it was like, for me, it was like, oh no, it's just... And now we do it, and it's just like, actually, it's just great. It's really
Do you do the Jack Black outro on it?
No.
No, we do synchronised dancing and stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
It's almost like the Osmonds kind of moves.
Just without the two-step.
Do you do Crazy Horses?
I'd like to do it because I'd want to do that.
Me and
dance.
Joe do it once a year. Is for rock and bike show, Yorkshire Rock and Bike Show, and we always do like the Thursday night warm up. And we just do, I think it's like a 2 or 3 hour acoustics. My fingers are falling off by the end of it. And Joe, bless him, we do like a couple of Quo songs, and he's trying to do all Rick Parfitt's parts on an acoustic guitar with strings that are like your wrist.
Yeah.
and we'll do Crazy Horses, the Osmond, and Joe's got a kazoo for the.
Well, I just used to.
It
use
sounds
whammy.
awful.
Yeah.
But
It sounds awful.
But we love it, and everyone else loves it.
We did it in
laugh.
Tin Man when I was with Tin Man.
You've got to do the knees thing.
and I loved it.
It's really hard to do because I'm always falling off my stool with acoustic as well.
See you know songs that just go down really well, and kind of other people just kind of go, really? You go, honestly, try it.
See, it's
try
like
it.
when
Try
we
it.
said we were doing.
ABBA.
Does your mother? Everybody went.
Such a good song.
And I just went, honestly, just do it. Just try it once.
But you see people that are just like, you'll see blokes that you start playing it, just do 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 do, and they're like, oh, no, and then 30 seconds later they're getting it big and on dance floor.
Oh yeah. That's every ABBA song though. They're all amazing songs, aren't they? I don't understand people that say
it's a
that
great guitar riff as
try and
well. It's a really
poo
good
on
guitar
ABBA.
kind of song. But yeah.
It's like it's like all these people. Oh, ABBA, yeah, no, ABBA. There's a reason that they made millions.
Yeah. And then didn't do anything for a long time, and they're still massively relevant.
The thing with being kind of, because we've done it for that long now, is kind of, what do we replace that with?
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
the set is.
So we have one, but we've not got round to doing it yet. So,
not yet. But
you're not going to tell them, just in case this comes out before your next gig.
To be fair, we've mentioned
we've toyed with many songs, but we've toyed.
It's generally in a changing room. It's like, we should do this. But like the set list now, there's that many songs that are just like you put a song in, it's like, well, we want to do this song. It's like, so yeah, we'll do that. It's like, what we're gonna take out.
Yeah, that's the bit.
That's the trouble, because we've got kind of long way to the top. We've sledgehammered that in somehow. This is the thing we're supposed
what about
to do.
Sledgehammer?
We're supposed to do 2:45s, right? We're supposed to do 2:45s. The first spot is basically an hour long.
Yeah.
The second spot is about an hour and 20.
And that's without me talking bollocks
in
between.
And the second spot is just straight through, pretty much.
I thought it was just me.
No.
At least an hour, a good hour and 10 with encores and stuff. Hour and 20 if we do another one, like Time Warp.
Time Warp. That's another one. You say, oh yeah, we do Time Warp, and they're just like.
But when it comes on, and you're 4 pints deep, it's
like and then you go.
I got my first.
You sit, and then you got my first real six, and everybody goes, oh! It's like, no. Then you just go. It's astounding. Everyone's like, oh! That's it. They're there.
Yeah.
It's like when we did Victoria the other day, Victoria Club. Not we didn't all do a girl called Victoria, because she weren't up for it. But we did Victoria Club at Chesterfield, and there was a woman there that sang the theme. I've always done it on my own, and she was singing. She was so loud I could hear her, even with my monitor, like my mic were picking it up. And it's like, she's actually really good. So it's like, there you go, sing that. And she sang it, and it was I just took his mic, and it was just like, you sing it, love. This is fine. One, it's saving me a job. You're earning more money for me. Happy days. But it was like getting crowd involved in it as well.
I tried to do that once at a gig in Chesterfield with another band, and we're doing like a big ballad, and this woman were like down crowd barrier, 200 or 300 people in real time live Chesterfield, and they were all screaming and pointing at this woman, and they're going, let her sing, and she's going, no, I can sing, and I'm thinking, they all seem so confident, and she seems so genuine. And she got up, and honestly, people, if you were not looking at the stage, you'd have thought I were trying to kill her, because she was awful. She was literally just screaming like these ambling bits over the top of this chorus, and I think she thought she was Mariah Carey or something. But I think if someone had cut Mariah Carey's ears off and then recorded her singing while cutting her feet off, that's what it sounded like. It was awful, and I thought, I'm never letting somebody else up on stage again.
I could,
for that kind of, unless I've heard them before.
Yeah.
I could, we had so much of that in Schizophrenia and stuff, and Andy Billard, bless him, wouldn't. No, he'd get them up because he'd get them the gobbiest people in the room, and he'd get them on stage, and they'd freeze, most of them. They'd just kind of go.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? How they're all full of confidence and beans. Then when they get out and they look and they go,
when they see it from your point of view,
or they'd try and do it, and then they'd just be absolutely shocking, and they'd get laughed off, kind of thing, and all that bravado then just disappeared.
It's weird though. It's like on a serious note, there's things that, like, we all sing in car and in the house at a certain volume, but when you're singing to a band, there's a certain kind of control you have to have. You can't just project as hard as you can, because especially when you're going for something high, you know yourself that it just tightens up and disappears. And when you've had a skinful and you get up with a band and you've never sang on stage with a band before, it's a bit of a shock to the system for them, and then they'll go, oh, actually, I can't do it. Yeah. You could just sing along in a car or in a van or whatever, and it's fine.
It's the one thing that I love singing. If I didn't love singing, I won't be doing it. But it's like when you go and see another band, it's, get up with us. And it's like,
I've always hated kind of jam nights and stuff like that.
Well, I
I don't hate
nights.
them, but I you know, it's just
Because jam nights is where I first ever started. I'd never ever sung before.
Yeah.
They are good for, especially if you haven't got the confidence and you're not willing to just throw yourself in the deep end like John did, and just play to the most important people in the world in the music industry, and then, but yeah, like I've never took part in one. I've turned up to one once to meet Joe, Joe Lally. Just I think that was 2008. I was putting together Invisible Idols, a little original trio thing that we were doing at the time, and I needed a bass player, and we got chatting because I knew his dad, and he just said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Lion in Castleford. They've got like a jam night on." Turned up, and me and the drummer I recruited at the time, and there were only those three there. We didn't have a jam. We just had a pint and a chat. And, we just had a chat. We just planned what we were doing because I knew we could play anyway. So it was just a case of just chatting in person. But I've never been to one, and I think it's because I've got this fear of that, like, when you get up on stage and it's someone else's setup, you have no idea what it's going to sound like. You don't know if you can hear yourself. You don't know what's going on. And I think I'm going to make a right idiot of myself here. And I have got up with bands before. I've got up with like Coyote have got me up, and when I've been to like local clubs and stuff like that. And then original bands have got me up because they were like, "Oh, we saw you doing a cover of songs. Do you want to get up and do that AC/DC song or whatever it is?" And I'm like, okay, and because you feel a bit daft because they're all like really, they all like seem really keen, like they don't sound like just doing it to be nice. Oh yeah, let's let that weird kid from Barnsley have a go. They're just like, come on, do it with us, it'll be right good. And then you do it, and you're like, oh my god. And then they play it different to how you know it because they're doing a different version, or it's a live version or something like that.
It's sometimes easier with singers to do that than with, let's say, guitar players and stuff like that. 'Cause guitar players are more particular about the gear, more particular about the sound, and do I let another guitar player touch my gear?
Yeah.
and
do I let another man touch my twanger?
Yeah, and as a guitar player, I don't want to kind of tread on those kind of toes. So I can, come on, get up, John, get up, you'll be all right with that. No,
as well, it's like
not unless the guitar player specifically invites me and asks, kind of thing. I will not.
It's like people say, "Oh, can such and such get up on drums?" They're not my drums.
Yeah.
The speakers are mine, the lights are mine, the desk.
And most drummers I know, especially if they've got quite a nice kit, they don't really want other drummers hitting them as well. Yeah. I mean, there's always that kind of kit share thing going on when you've got support bands or if you're touring with other bands, and I think it can be quite nerve-wracking for some drummers because obviously you swap off the breakables, so we're not no one's hitting the side of a cymbal and cracking it and stuff like that. But people turn up with sticks that are falling apart, and then they're having to go on someone else's kit and just busting out hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of skins and stuff like that. And it's it's not the same as just handing someone a microphone.
Yeah. Or you get the mic drop people that
that was the one we did.
I cringe every time I see that, and even if I see celebs doing it, and they probably can afford to replace them, but I'm just thinking, Soundman's probably going crazy right now. He's dropped like £1,000
Well, we did a gig in Leeds a few years ago, and it was a football presentation that was that night as well. And the guy says, "Oh, can we just use your speakers so we can hear awards?" It's like, and in my naive, stupid, just mental block, it was like, what harm could come to it?
Yeah.
So, guy who'd got like whatever he'd won, like most goals or whatever, the game Mike, and he's had a skinful, and he's like, "Oh yeah,"
it's in his mouth and he's shouting.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing that, and then he's like, "Anyway, up the whatever, like up the mighty blues or whatever." Mic drop. It's like, that's £1,000 worth of mic.
Yeah. We did me and Libby did a bit of a night where we'd been invited to just be the last two on, do a little duo thing, sing a load of popular covers, and they said we're going to get somebody on who's like been on telly it's like a comedy guy, and he plugged into our gear. Really nice bloke. But he plugged this gear in, and it just, I don't know if he'd got gains too high through his desk or whatever, but it was just squealing and distorting every time he went, obviously, like, singing at a medium volume were fine. The moment it went up, it just distorted and crackled and all sorts. And I'm like, oh my gear.
Yeah.
And it's just awful, isn't it? Because you're just letting people. I don't know. It's like letting somebody have a go on your car, and then they're just like handbrake turning it.
Yeah. Can I ever go on your drums and can I ever go on your wife?
Yeah.
What?
Andy Mapp
Exactly,
said that
yeah.
actually when
Yeah,
he
that's
came
what he-
in.
yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
It's just that. Yeah, I don't know. It just terrifies me, especially because it's some stuff like you've worked really hard to buy it, and you've worked up a long time using rubbish gear to get
That's
yourself
it, yeah.
whatever you can
Yeah.
afford, and you've done as many gigs as it takes to buy the things that you want, so that you can do things a certain way, and then someone who hasn't got any of that gear and no idea rocks up,
Yeah.
and then just breaks it just like that.
We once did a gig at Snafu.
Oh, I love that place. I've only ever played it once when I were a teenager.
We did it twice. So there. And the second time, the guy who doing the sounds like come up, thought he knew everything, and I said, look, before I've said I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but just when you start, just turn my gain down, because you speak like last time it were a bit loud and damaged speakers. Oh, I know what I'm doing, pal. I know what I'm doing. So it's like gives you sound check, and we used to do rock and roll as a sound check. So I said, "Been a long time."
Yeah.
Bang, gone.
You can either. Boop.
Yeah. And he just went into meltdown. It's like, kind of told you,
It's all,
mate.
yeah.
Told
Yeah.
you. I didn't want to tell you how to do that. I would just
Give you a pre-warning.
give you a warning. But yeah, all speakers popped, and it's like they were just panic. So monitors were being used as like
Tops, yeah.
tops, and
Yeah.
it was just chaos, absolute chaos.
We did a gig. I think it was called Bluebell in Dodder, Barnsley area. Or it might be called Bluebell
Don't look
now.
for
It
it
was
now,
called the
it's-
Fairway. It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
it's what one of the way arounds. It's either called Fairway or Bluebell. It was
Yeah.
one of those, and it's changed to the other now. But we played it, and we had a sound man who came, and he were in this like glam rocks holiday camp band that I was briefly in when I were about 17. We called him Clever Trevor.
Clever Trevor, yeah.
Yeah, always wore sunglasses, and he got a briefcase with some questionable tobacco inside it.
Yeah, questionable tobacco products, yeah.
and a TV that were black and white, battery powered with aerials sticking out of it,
Yeah.
which I've only ever seen on car boots. I've never seen them.
Yeah.
Or bullseye.
Yeah, I've never seen them available anywhere to buy, and.
It were prize number 4.
And we were sound checking, and I can always remember him just going, "You have to sing louder," and I'm literally like busting my balls.
Yeah.
I'm singing as loud as I can right now, and I said I can't sing it any louder than that, and I says plus I think it might have even been that Stereophonic song Dakota. Still getting words wrong now, and I said, well, that's how he sings it. And he says, well, Kelly Jones ain't got this PA. And I'm like, all right then. So
you've been to his house.
I've got to make do then. I always remember.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. He didn't last very long, did he?
No. I think that was the last gig.
Yeah.
We had another guy as well, and he I don't know what his name was, and he turned up and he did the sound check, and then as soon as we started, he put his feet up on another chair and started reading a book. And he didn't touch the desk once all the way through. He only lasted one gig as well.
Yeah.
We work some really decent guys, aren't we? Like when we play Tropicana.
Oh yeah,
Adam
the
and-
crew there, Adam and
Is that
Chris.
over at
Skegness,
Skegness,
yeah,
yeah.
the big thingy club there, yeah.
We
Used to be the Maid Marian club when I was a kid and used to go.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the Club Tropicana, the drinks are fucking free.
What's the opposite of free? Expensive. Yeah.
What's it? Yeah.
Oh, bless them.
But
But
you
apart from that,
Apart from that, it's amazing. It's great. You literally turn up. We don't even have to do it, do we?
well, we have to be there early.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And if you again, and this is the kind of stuff I used to instill, you know, with the press the flesh and stuff, and that was the military band, that kind of Roy as well, because Roy ran a tight ship, and you know you did stuff right, and you were professional. But then kind of going into that schizophrenia, and it was always, you know, you're professional, you turn up on time when you say you're on time, you don't fuck around, you know, you do the thing, and then, you know, 9 times out of 10, if you do a good show, they'll have you back.
Yeah.
And they'll have you back quite a lot, because like, you guys know what you're doing, you're not fucking us around. And they've always said that, actually, oh, you guys are a pleasure to work with, you always know what you're doing. You never throw any strops or anything. Like last time we had a hum, didn't we, coming through my guitar rig, change leads out, still there. So, well, unless it's the actual Axe effects, which has never happened before. And they found out it was, you know, one of their leads going under the drum riser, which spins round kind of thing, that just got tangled up. So, and, we're really, really sorry. We're really sorry about that. It's no problem. You know.
we were like, all right.
It's all right. It's got sorted, hasn't it? Oh yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening.
Stuff happens. You know.
I once went and did a couple of FAHRAN gigs in, it must have been 2014 or 15. It was Manchester and Liverpool, and Joe had like got this receiver for a microphone, and then a Shure mic, and I've got this Sennheiser one now, but I don't think they were compatible, because we did the gig and there was just like immense feedback all the way through it, and I'm just like thinking, this soundman's rubbish. I'm not saying anything, just getting on with it and just trying to pretend like it's not happening, but it was just doing whatever it wanted. So I just keep muting it every time I weren't singing, and then the moment I pressed it again, it just go while I was singing, and then it was worse at this Liverpool gig. And it just screeched all the way through, and it were really kind of getting to me in the last third of the gig. So it were visible that I were annoyed, but I was still trying to get through it and pretend like nothing were wrong. And then when I got it back home, I'd plugged it into a PA and did it, and it was still doing it. And I was like, I've been hating these two sound men, and it's this setup, and I don't know what it were. And I mean, thankfully it were only borrowed for that weekend, and then I managed to get what I needed. But yeah, I was just thinking to myself, like, all the way through it, I'm like, why is this guy even on desk? Why is he on? It's like, well, actually, he's probably all right. It was me.
He sat there thinking, what the fuck is this guy using?
What's he using? Yeah.
I hate when gear lets you down, though. It's just, it's quite soul destroying as well.
We're lucky that we've
that was the other thing of moving to Axe effects and things like that. And you know, one of the stories Metallica particularly told to us was, you know, trying to find a widget for a particular brand of amp in buttfuck Nebraska at 3 a.m. in the morning when the truck's gone over a bump and then the amp shat itself because it fell apart. You know, he says they're great, they sound fantastic and brilliant, but they're just so delicate. You know, they're built like, you know, you pick them up, they weigh a ton, but they're so delicate, and they just don't, you know, stuff isn't designed to last very long anymore, component-wise, like it used to be in the 50s.
So it makes you buy another one.
Well,
that's just business.
A lot of that is true. So, but they wanted, and you know, hauling a 60-pound or you know, whatever 30 kilo amp around on a plane, on a truck, costs money, and it costs a lot more than hauling a 10 kilo piece of gear around.
That's in your rucksack.
When
carry on.
So when
you're a big touring band and you save, you know, 2 tons of weight from amps and cabs and stuff like that, that translates to money in their pocket.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of it now. Like, there's a lot of kind of modern metal bands that I like, and I'll watch festival videos that they've done where they've just got roadies to film little things, and on stage, all you can hear is drums because everyone's on in-ears, and they're all through Helix, Kempers, Axe Effects.
Coming with Peanut Pete, can you remember the discussion he had with Raggy on via social media about somebody didn't have a backline, and Peanut Pete were going nuts about it. His big thing with it, you had to have a backline because that's part of it, and it's like, well, I get what you're saying, but it's like you're not gonna shift it about.
Yeah, we don't really have the the back line in the rock sector of it, it's all floorboards and stuff like that, and it's.
But see, I'm belt and braces. I know that if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So have a redundancy. Have at least a little cab behind you that you can turn up and you know, at least stand near to if your in-ears suddenly crap out, and at least you can hear stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be all optimistic, and then I met John.
Yeah, we still have the monitors and stuff like that if we need them, but for something like for what that is, it kind of works because it's not too. Like I wouldn't like to do a FAHRAN gig without cabs. Yeah. It's that kind of music's ballsy enough to deserve warranting having cabs on stage. Whereas the rock set thing, it feels a bit more pop rock, and it kind of works. It's I don't need a guitar sound that's going to pump you in the chest. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. And a lot of the time when you're a guitar player and you don't realise these things, you think you've got a great sound, and you're stood. You know, your cab's kind of arse height in a 412, and you're stood up here hearing it thinking that's amazing, that's brilliant, that's
someone down front just gone deaf,
and somebody at that height of one particular speaker at the front is just getting a biscuit tin full of bees.
We had it Friday. We went up to Tankersley Manor in Barnsley, and there was a cover band on called Hot Fuss, and they do all like your Britpop indie type stuff. But where we were placed, we were right next to like one guitar cab and the bass, and it was just all that and very little of the other side. Obviously, if we were in the centre, we'd have been fine. But because of the way that room were laid out, I mean, sometimes it's just not always going to work in your favour, is it? But so, I mean, the band sounded great. They played well and everything like that. But just from where we were positioned, and obviously we were seated, and we were just getting deafened by this one rhythm guitar on one more section.
See, we've had a couple of times like there'll be if it's particularly small venue or something like that, you get somebody sat on side saying, "Yeah, I can't hear keys," or well, you won't do because you sat 16 feet away from John's cab.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well, like when I walk, especially if it's a venue I've never been to before and they've got an in-house PA, I always I'm looking around because I want to see if they've got the little speakers for pushing the vocals on the centre, because there's a lot of people stand down the front and they'll go, I can't hear anything, I can just hit drums. And if you go about 6 foot back, you'll hear everything.
Well, I've seen lots of Ghost did it, and you can see at the front they have like little, almost
just tiny
wedge monitor,
centre fills,
and just dotted around the front of the stage, just with a band mix coming for those right at the front kind of thing. And it's like a really good idea.
Yeah. We found...
I don't have to buy them and all, do I?
Not yet. Soon, though.
Yes, soon.
No, we're still technically, we've still got big live drums, haven't we? So unless you want to just hear drums and nothing else, you've got to have a bass cab and a guitar cab kind of going along with it.
We played at Yardbirds, Grimsby, which you remember. Yeah. I think it was February this year. And it's completely transformed in lockdown. I think it was like maybe 200, 220 cap.
Yeah, you were
venue.
saying it, they kind of took that back dressing room out, and it's
they've extended the place, and I think they said it can hold like 550, maybe near to 600, like as a squish. But we played it, and they actually rang us a couple of weeks before and said, "Oh, it's sold out." So we're like, "Well, one of those situations." But they capped it at like, I can't remember, like 5:30 or something like that. But the room, it kind of, where you play, you're on stage, and then there's the area where the audience is, but then another wall behind them with a raised area, and then the actual original venue is there with a load more people. But we were actually getting people saying to us that down at the back, it was just ridiculously quiet, because I'm guessing everyone down the front were getting bombarded with sound, but it's hit all the people and the raised area. Yeah. So that's another, I mean, we kind of fed that back, that maybe it needs a few of those, just to keep it pushing through.
We've done that in odd shaped clubs where you've got a kind of a small beam halfway down the room, and all the sound hits that beam and doesn't go past it, and it's like, how can it physically do that? You think but bass will omnidirectional, will travel, so all you hear is at the back is Jabba the Hutt going
me and Libby will get like solo gigs where there's like a low roof or something like that. If it's I mean, clubs not so bad because they've kind of been designed with it in mind, haven't they, to have some entertainment on. But then you'll get pubs where someone's took a place on, completely gutted the place, made it brand new, modern, trendy, beautiful looking pub, and they've put some kind of stage in there because they thought, I want to put entertainment in this place that's never had it before. But they've got kind of like Tudor beams and all these things that kind of stick out.
There you go, guys, your stage.
Oh, yeah, we did that one. John used to play, I used to have multiple different versions of Matt Black Band, which did like original music and cover stuff, and we turned up somewhere in Liverpool and we played it was one of those like, it was like a quarter of a circle squished into a corner that you couldn't fit drums on, so we just had to set up. I think we just put something behind it. I don't even know. Maybe we just stored things on there and we played on the floor because I don't know how people sometimes can expect you to turn up and fit on stages with certain things.
So we've had it, haven't we, where people want us to play and it's like they're basically a venue that's there for like. No, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they're there for like duos, really. Yeah. Like a stage for it, and then we're turning up with a 5-piece band with six cab PA.
See,
and your lights and all that.
They did used to make clubs like that though, that were for big bands and things like that. So Crooks is still one of them. Walkley used to be one of them.
I go to some in like Leeds area sometimes where it's like you're loading up some kind of fire escape around the back, and the concert room is literally the size of the entire downstairs building. Like all the other rooms, it's just this massive room. Yeah. And I'm just frogs back. Yeah. And I'm just there, and I'm like doing a solo gig with a couple of pop-up speakers, and they're in house lights, and I'm just like, I just look like a little ant. It's just a bit. I think I should have done more, or maybe I should have brought some people with me.
Well, Birdwell was like that. Birdwell venue was one of those big stages, and it's some of those. Crooks has done well in transforming itself into a.
Yeah, Morris has done amazing.
Did an amazing job, kind of transforming that not just as a working men's club, but having. Proper bands. Now, Birdwell did it right when Joe took over and redid the dressing rooms and everything like that because they were working men's clubs' dressing rooms. Crooks has still got that, so it needs to perhaps work on that. But, they can do it. They have the infrastructure. They have a great room, a great stage, to it, and that's really difficult to kind of, you can't get that generally.
They're ideal, really, if you've got the money to buy one of those clubs that's especially if it's a club that's kind of struggling, because you're probably going to get it for a bit cheaper than another building or another business that way. It's already laid out the right way. You just need to spruce it up a little bit.
Well, I mean,
modernise it.
One thing that saddens me about the first place I ever actually sang at were the Midland in Killamarsh, which is where I live, and it was jam night there. And now that pub's shut. It had always had live music on. It weren't really big enough for bands, but bands squeezed in because it was just known as a place where bands played, and that shut down. And it there's nothing, and it was just because in it one bugbear that I've got. People moved in round the corner
and then complain about the volume.
Complain about noise.
Yeah.
And that was that. Done.
That's happening in a lot of places. The Diamond in Sutton in Ashfield, they've got loads of little townhouses built literally this close to their wall, it's inches away, and already they're kind of complaining about the noise and things like that. I mean, those houses have been there a number of years, but the venue's been there for God knows how many years.
Yeah,
grief. It's awful, isn't it? I mean, that's nothing new. It seems to be a modern thing, though, that people will move in and go, oh, the shock of it. I live next to a pub.
Yeah.
How dare they be, noisy?
I'll get this with clubs when you walk in, and they'll say, oh yeah, we need to make sure the door's shut before you sound check and do this and that, because we've had some new builds come in and they're all complaining already. Why was it a shock to you? Really?
Yeah.
It's not a new thing that these clubs have entertainment.
I can't remember where we played, but there was a guy. The landlord said to us that there's some houses that have just been built, and the guy came in. He says he's an absolute weirdo that he'd come in, watch the band for the first half.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Come in and watch the band for the first half, have a few beers, go home, and then phone and complain about the noise
Because he's ready for
because
bed
he
now.
wants to go to bed.
So let's go to bed, yeah.
It's like, hey, where's the logic there?
They are a different breed. They
Yeah.
are a different breed of people.
Yeah. It's just like, what? Where is your head at? You know? Fucking hell. Man, yeah. Not as queer as folk, as they say.
Right, I'm gonna end this on one final question, and it is: what advice would you give to yourself, the younger version of yourself, in the musical world, not just in normal life? What would you do differently?
I don't know. I think everything I've had is, everything that you've done you learn from anyway. So whether it's a mistake or whether it's something that's worked, you pick the bones out of it and learn from that. So I don't think I'd do anything particularly differently, other than probably save myself a lot of money on IVF treatment and not just eat all the shit that I ate. But no, I don't. I think I've been quite lucky with everything that I've done musically. I mean, like I say, I'm fairly new to it. I'm nearly 38. I've only been doing it 12 years, and it would just be like what I've done is listen to the guys around me. The older heads, learn from the older heads. I mean, there's not many older than John. But it is like John said earlier, I grew up watching Alexander's Palace, Stage Fright, all Alcatraz, all them, and that was what I wanted to do, and it would just go for it. Just go for it. And if anybody knocks you, fuck them. That's it. Just sod it. You do what you want to do. If you've got something in your mind that you want to do it.
Pretty good advice.
I wish I'd not got distracted so easily. That's pretty much it.
Shiny things.
Yeah. Well, girlfriends and things, much as I've, at the time thought they were the one and stuff like that. And, you get distracted and you get sidetracked and you think, oh, well, and then you maybe go through a rough patch because you've split up. Then your craft suffers. Then perhaps you didn't take that chance that could have gone because you'd probably be dead in 6 months if you'd done it because you were in a bad place. Yeah.
But then you won't be stuck in an overrated band like with me.
No, look, I've been very, very lucky. I've played in Japan. I've played in America. I've played around Europe, Russia. From a lad from the Manor who grew up in a 1970s council house.
There's no the in Manor, it's just from Manor.
Which used to be the roughest, had the honour of being the poorest estate in Europe at one point. So,
In Europe?
In Europe.
Wow.
But it had 3 working men's clubs.
No, it fucking did. Well, yeah, it did actually. Arborthorne.
There's one left now, isn't there? I think.
Manor's still going, and
two.
In fact,
Arundel's still there. Yeah.
So the other one's gone.
Arborthorne.
Yeah, Arborthorne's gone ages ago.
Did we play that?
Not Park and Arborthorne. We played Arundel. Yeah.
Yeah. I can just remember very strange women turning up to that in Barnsley.
Yes, I remember very strange women turning up to that.
Seems like times don't change.
No, not really. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, just getting distracted with other things and going out and partying and beer and stuff like that. I wish I'd been a bit more dedicated to my craft because and a little less lazy. But I've done all right. So I can't really complain because I've got to go places
You
where...
always complain.
I know, but...
He can't complain, but he somehow
if
manages to do so.
If I'd have become a plumber or an electrician, I wouldn't have gone to Japan doing plumbing or electricianing.
Or teaching English.
Or teaching
Speaking proper England like what we do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've done all right. So, no regrets, really. But...
I think mine's very similar to yours, really. That and probably, make sure you check who's on the dance floor before you start referencing characters from adverts.
Make sure you take more than 2 pairs of pants on tour with you.
Certainly. Well, you never know with my diet back then.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've heard about this, the sour milk farts. Yeah.
Ryan. That's all I'm going to say. The drummer.
I love
That it
Ryan to
could get-
pieces. I love Ryan.
His could kill.
Oh God, yeah. Phil Boyd's can. Phil,
Oh, yeah.
Phil won't mind because he's lactose
I
intolerant.
can't believe it's taken us till this long to start talking about farts.
I feel all educated and what?
But yeah, they'll just see me turn green on stage and go across to the other side and collapse.
You just because John, I mean, he don't move well anyway. But when he wanders across stage, it's like you look, it's like what, and then you wonder, oh, that fucking hell.
Oh, the amount of times I've been in bands with people and someone's just smiling at you on stage, and it's really like a nice smile as well.
Yeah,
'Cause
Phil,
and you're wondering what it is, and then suddenly they smell hits you. And people just think, look at them, they're having a lovely time on
Yeah.
stage. They're laughing and everything.
Look, he's laughing that much, he's crying.
Yeah. His eyes are streaming.
Oh, make it stop.
Oh God, I had a fringe when I first started playing gigs with these lot. It's all melted away now.
Jesus Christ, being in car with you and them sour milk ones, oh man. Jesus. Dude. They were. It was just like opening a carton of cottage cheese or something. What the fuck have you been putting in your body?
Well, let's not have a band anymore together in future because
No.
I'm vegetarian now. So.
Oh, God.
Don't need that kind of negativity.
We've got me as a vegetarian. We've got Chris in FAHRAN who's vegan, and then we've got Josh who goes through phases of. I can't do that. That with a week. Look, I can't. My fingers won't do it. I can't actually do the weird Star Trek. I'm glad.
You've been doing the shocker for too long.
I am actually. It's naturally doing the shocker. I can't do it. Well, to be fair, I've not really tried very much, but I'll happily go through life not doing that Star Trek thing. I don't even know what it means, but I see people doing it. But yeah,
It means you're a vegan.
no, I'm not.
See how defensive it became. I'm not.
No, I need
I'm
to
not.
remain the vegetarian because Chris is the one that gets bullied and I don't get bullied. So for as long as he's vegan, I'm left alone. But yeah, and then you've got the drummer who's very much into fitness, eating dry chicken and broccoli that's been meal prepped. He goes through these phases of having these
At least his food was alive.
and whey protein, and it's not nice being in a van with that.
Yeah, the whey protein, I can imagine. Yeah.
Protein.
Well, thank you very, very much for
Nah,
taking the little journey through to Barnsley.
we're gonna find his way back now, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Brave.
You'll probably be walking as well because your car won't be there when you get outside.
Full of lights.
But yes, have a nice Christmas and good New Year.
Thank you.
And we'll. I'm hoping at some point you're going to be gigging near me when I'm not gigging, and I will finally get to
always-
see.
So we'll do that
Yeah.
awkward
Thor.
getting you up thing and
Yeah.
No.
At least we know all the AC/DC numbers today.
yeah.
Well, thank you, and I will see you very soon, John and Lee from Thor on episode 4.